one question, Joey. This is for Rob Lee. Rob Lee belongs to Russia today. Why are you guys out here today? Why were you here yesterday? And why are you here again?
Coming to celebrate America and the right for free speech. If you look at this beautiful picture, we have all these people around here with different point of views just talking and no one using violence. So that's why we're here.
Okay, is there any difference yesterday and today from previous?
All right, so I'm going to give Joey a break here. I've seen some of the comments there, and I appreciate that everyone wants me to call everyone out, but the problem is, let me turn this thing. If I'm spending all my time calling out all of these people, as much as I'd like to call them out on every single issue, you don't get them talking, and so I'm doing the best to get people talking. There'll be more opportunities to talk to all of them at length. Obviously, that's what I've been doing. I've been here for 4 days. Had I called Kyle Chapman out, back in Washington, he wouldn't allow me to, talk to him or trail him around yesterday. So bear with me on that one. I do realize he did 2 prison stretches, one in the 90s and one in the 2000s. For robbery, he's out on $135,000 bond for beating up protesters. So I get all of these points, but you have to understand that I've had a lot of trouble getting people to speak when I'm blunt with them. I get shut right down. So you have to understand the rationale for the way that I'm doing things is that I'm just trying to get people to talk. I can't be too hard lined with them right now. I wish I could be. I understand how you feel. Just try to bear with me. Keep your questions coming, and hopefully I'll be able to gently sneak them in there.
Was an anti-fascist demonstrator because he didn't want to go punch Nazis, and they said that he needed to stop this white performativeness and go and actually punch a Nazi. And essentially, they're saying that he has to go and sacrifice himself by going to jail, by getting criminal charges to prove his worthiness for the white guilt that they put on him. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, guys. They're encouraging violence and demanding it out of their white anti-fascist members now. It's just madness, infighting and madness. We don't see this craziness on the side with the patriots, the people, the Trump supporters, because you have Trump supporters that are Democrats, libertarian, classical liberals, Republicans, conservatives, and we kind of vary all throughout that spectrum on the Trump side. Now, the real issue here is that we have communist organizers that are... This is not the camera we're talking about. It was a Panasonic GH4.
It's the enemy of free speech. It's the enemy.
No, there's a difference between live streaming and footage.
Of the precious ecosystem.
The live stream was live on Alex Jones' channel.
Of our air.
That was all live while it was happening.
Of humanity.
Of humanity. Yeah.
In the name of
humanity.
In the name of humanity.
Basically, the bottom line is here. Okay, whatever, dude. The bottom line is this.
A fascist America.
We have a communist infiltration going on right now at UC Berkeley. We have communist leaders like Yvette Falarka and other communist leaders that we caught meeting at RevCom, the Revolutionary Comics Bookstore, just right next door to UC Berkeley. And here we have these by any means necessary anti-fascist groups coming here saying that no anti-fascist fighter should be arrested. What are you talking about? These are the people calling for violence. These are the people saying, punch a Nazi. Well, the problem with that idea to punch a Nazi is they're going around claiming anyone is a Nazi that isn't even a Nazi, and thus going around punching innocent people.
All right. Well,
I gave you the ground yesterday.
Slip that propaganda in there a little. Yes, I don't know what you mean by propaganda, but I hear it.
Would you have the courage to do us the same? Doesn't seem your way.
Mike check! Mike check! Mike check! This guy is the leader of Latinos.
What's the wig about?
What?
Can I ask you about the wig?
I'm a teacher in San Francisco. I can't be exposed to making fun of fucking idiots.
I can't even tell if you're serious now. You're legit. No, I mean, are you legitimately a teacher?
Yes. And these people are so fucking stupid. I don't know what to. It's just funny. I don't understand.
What do you teach?
Social studies. Because the last time I checked, I don't see rounding up Jews and putting them in concentration camps. I don't know where the fascists are. I'm looking for them. I don't see any Nazis.
Well, how do you define fascism? Because that's one of the big things. There's a linguistic problem that I've noticed with the young on both sides.
Fascism is when you cram ideas down someone's throat, and if you don't agree with them, you kill them and put them in camps, in jail.
And there's no other definition in your mind?
If you don't agree with someone, your ideas, you're in jail and you're gone. That's fascism.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Right. Okay.
Look at Hitler. I mean,
right. No. So
I mean, Adolf Hitler.
I mean, Donald Trump has done this to me as a journalist. He's had me locked up for asking things that were troublesome to him.
Donald Trump is an asshole.
Okay.
He's a fucking glass asshole.
I'm just saying, according to that second definition you just gave.
But he's not putting people in jail for doing that.
He is. He's put me in jail a couple times.
He put you in jail.
Yes.
For what?
For asking questions as a reporter.
He put you in jail for asking questions.
Yes.
That's retarded.
I'll send you links to the video if you want. You haven't heard?
That's not okay.
Well, he's done it.
I don't think Donald Trump gives a shit. I didn't vote for him. I don't think he gives a shit about these people who have. They're ignorant. I mean, it's triggered. These people are triggered by Trump. The guy is a dick. He's a fucking dick. Donald Trump is a dick, right?
He is, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I try to treat him respectfully, even though he gets me locked up. But yeah, I hear you.
I just don't. This thing is bizarre. This is fucking crazy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go over here for a moment.
United sooner or later.
We shall overcome. 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 We shall overcome.
To instill fascism in the United States.
We got our own law. Use fascism today.
You got my backpack? Hey, brother.
Hey, what's up?
My dignity in the face of unprovoked violence. By the insatiable and hypocritical students on campus. We've shown ourselves guilty of one thing. Of passionately entering into a conspiracy to uphold the First and 14th Amendment. Mario Savio, October 16th, 1964, right here on the steps of Sproul Hall.
One more time. I'll read it. Okay. Well, we can all read it. Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! By our courage! By dignity!
No Trump!
No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA!
What do you think of all this?
I think there's not enough critical thinking.
No, I got it.
And too much critical theory, which is what they're teaching at this university, which is the reason for these people being so confused.
Are you local or professor?
I'm a local.
Okay. You got the version of the Gadsden flag with the stripes.
Yep.
Why no stars? What's the significance?
Well, this is just another variation of the flag. It's 1776 in it, and there are many variations of the Gadsden flag.
I was wondering if it was specific.
Well, I think this is something you can agree and should agree with, and forget about this. And again, this comes out of critical theory. They don't know what they're talking about.
What theory do you feel like they're using?
It's called critical theory. It's part of, you can use any term you want, but it is part of cultural Marxist. It's the way the academia took over, it's the way Marxists took over academia. In the
Postmodernism?
Postmodernism, critical theory. Critical theory is not a theory. They're just criticizing every tradition, every common sense, patriotic, nationalist thing that exists in the United States, like this stuff. They're just criticizing it. They're saying this is white supremacy, and it's all part of this critical theory that they're employing. With, I'm not even sure they themselves are aware that what theory they're employing, but it is critical theory, and and this is what you get, when you instead of thinking about things by yourself, instead of doing research, you just listen to the Marxists, and then you see Nazis and white supremacists everywhere. And that's what these people are seeing, and yet, they're referring to patriots and Trump supporters as white supremacists and Nazis, and that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Are you a citizen here?
Yes.
And you have a bit of an accent.
I was actually born in the Soviet Union, so I'm especially sensitive to this craziness. So these people don't really understand that, all the right slogans, equality, but it never actually, it always leads to bloodshed. And, 20th century is proof.
So you're from Soviet Union, but you're also a proud American.
Yes, well, I've been a citizen I'm a naturalized citizen since 1994. So, a lot of people, unfortunately, who were born here don't have any appreciation for this American experiment, and they actually would prefer, I guess, a Soviet-style dictatorship, and it's kind of sad.
Are there any other similarities you see?
Similarities between
Russia or the Soviet Union?
American experiment, and they actually, you know what? If we don't stop this type of thinking, if we let these Marxists, dominate all aspects of our lives, then this will turn into a USSR 2.0. It's not going to have a red flag necessarily. It's not going to have, Bolshevism necessarily, but it's going to be the same thing as far as your rights go.
Okay. Thank you so much. What was your name?
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay. Take care.
And hold on, but hear me out. So the first step is this. So when we can have dialogue without violence, that's the first step, okay?
So what's the dialogue about? Yeah.
Whatever people want to talk about. But if we can't speak, that's how tyrants take control. If we can't have a free flow exchange of ideas, yes.
What are you trying to say though?
So I want the left. I want the left and the right to finally come together so we can take on the elites. Hold on, the people who are taking full advantage of us in the government. That's my goal, right? To end the corruption.
I get that. But see, when the right solution is let's kill all people of color, and the left solution is
not a solution.
So then what is your solution?
That's an extremist. That's an extremist.
Tell me what you
I want freedom, and I want love, and I want truth in this country. That's what I want.
Tell me what you want.
No, it is. No, listen. Hear me out. Do you believe?
What do you want from America?
I don't want anything from America. I want to give back to America. I just want to be free. I want you to be free.
You're not even using logic. What do you want? Give me a thing that you a tangible thing that you want.
I want to streamline immigration, legal immigration. I want to get rid of the drug war. I want to end the corruption. You know what I mean? I want the deception that's running these cities on the West Coast. I want that to be gone. Absolutely. So we have a lot of people, we have politicians who lie so much and we let them get away with it. We've just accepted it. We have lying
White
even
politicians.
White and black. A politician's a politician. Right and left, right? There's no difference between the right and left.
So what would make you happy? What would stop this? Trying to shut down our campus, taking away from my education. This is not that bad.
It's not bad at all. This is beautiful. This is all I wanted.
Nah, it's not really
When Antifa shows up and beats the shit out of me with my hands up, that's a problem. That's a problem. Do you agree with that?
Listen, Antifa is a very anonymous organization, so
But-
it's very difficult
but
to
their actions
know.
are real.
Except, do we know that that's Antifa doing this stuff?
I don't care what you call them.
Why was the tree burnt down after Milo's never shut down?
Oh, I don't know.
Unless Antifa comes at me and says this is what we did, I have a hard time believing that these are not things that have been set in motion.
Agent provocateurs? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. But regardless, it's still a bad thing, right? It's still bad. Whoever did it, maybe they're on the right, maybe they're on the left.
When a whole week is supposed to be designated to white supremacists to come speak on my campus, endangering students of color, right? It was supposed to be this.
When?
It was supposed to be this.
Free Speech Week?
It was supposed to be this week.
That's what you believe?
Yes.
Are you serious?
That's not what I believe. That is what was happening.
Who told you that? Who was going to come in? That was a white supremacist. No, I'm serious. I'm not attacking you. Like who? But give me like you have a name, right? Like you know someone.
I think I can.
Okay.
I can throw. I think people talk about Kyle Chapman being a white nationalist. Maybe that's what
Is that
you
what
mean.
you're talking about? Because the white supremacists weren't coming in. I'm just going to challenge your belief that.
Do students of color feel unsafe coming to this campus?
I don't know. Do they?
Yes.
Why? I'm just asking. Like why?
Like, are you serious?
Or what? Like, is there a bunch of violence happening to people of color in Berkeley? Violent ideas or violent actions?
The city of Oakland, right here.
No, here. You mean by the police?
By the police, by the government, by the way everything's been set up.
By a lot of your supporters.
But see,
So your concern is the police, and that's a legitimate concern. That's a different, right? That's
the police, you acting like I'm focusing the fact that the police are like the perpetuators and they're the ones that to blame. The police job is to uphold the policies and the laws of the state.
Yeah, it's
the state that's designed to protect property and white supremacy. So no, I'm not looking at individual cops as like they're the problem. They are the they implement the problems. They are the front line of a government that has systematically dehumanized, marginalized the fuck out of my country and my people.
I want to say what I think though. I think you're right. The government is trying to hold down the lower class. I don't believe our government is racist. It's just evil. Evil's not racist. It wants to just hold down. It wants to make as many people as poor as possible. Unfortunately, when blacks were freed, we set up a system to put them in the ghettos, right? And so that they can't grow, so they can't get jobs. We pump in drugs, right? We pump in drugs. Now the drug war, right? Now we put all of them in jail. Now they're slaves in the system, right? And that's the thing. So I agree with you on that. The system is rigged, right? But it's not because it's racist. It's because it just wants people to be as poor as possible.
Why is those people are only black and brown people?
That's because that's how it started. Because it originally started from it was people. Listen, racism was accepted in our culture. That's what I'm trying to say. And so they set up a system where they put in all that. That's why all the drugs are pumped into the black community.
You're saying our culture is not racism. That means it's still racism. Because everything that
I believe that if a white person is raised in one of these bad areas, they will be just as negatively impacted. Is what I'm trying to say.
But they won't be attacked by the system the same way as a black person.
If you roll in, if you're
a white person is raised,
that might be true.
The exact same way, but when it comes down to the system, a black person will be treated completely differently than a white person. Regardless of if they have the same crime, regardless of if they committed the same thing, a white person will not get the same amount of time as a black person, and that's
Can I challenge you on that? You're right. I'm not arguing there's not racism. And in fact, for me, that's stupid to even argue about that because that's not what I'm trying to say. Is if you have a white poor person who has a history, right, a criminal history, and then you have a black man who has no criminal history, they're going to let him off. Who's rich? They're going to let him off. Who gets a good lawyer? They're going to let him off way better than the white kid who's poor and has a
rich that have the ability to get
You don't know any black men who've been successful in this country?
I want to talk about like celebrities and business.
Well, sure, whoever. I'm just saying you said there's no black men but here's what I'm trying to say. Here's what I want to ask. Okay, I don't know who you guys vote for. It doesn't really matter. But my question is, why do these bad areas continue to vote for the same ideology, the same people over and over and over again? And they're not getting better; they're getting worse, right?
Are those your people?
There are people in your faction that are.
I have a lot of people that are Trump supporters, but my question is.
Hear me out. You know that
What did Trump? What did Trump?
A UC Berkeley professor that works here. He's an African American biologist, an expert.
Communities. What's that?
Renowned expert on frogs. You know, and he's the one who did the study that Alex is even citing on atrazine and how it was actually affecting the frogs. And actually, the scientist himself, while wearing earrings,
There's ups and downs, But I don't like the again part. I don't like the again. I don't like that. Make America great. It should be. Make America great again, because we've slowly been getting better and better and better. I do disagree with again. I've said it several times on my videos. I believe it's not make America great again. It's make America better than it's ever been. That's what I want.
You understand that okay, so this is what I'm talking about. When you answered me, you brought up a point. When I'm speaking about racism, I'm not really talking about an individual relationship where someone's being discriminatory and prejudiced. Yeah, but you understand that race theory was developed, right? It took hundreds of years to develop this and solidify it within the psyche of people, right? You're talking about not just the fact that people are racist against color. You're talking about a pseudoscience of movement to secure that we are less than human beings. We are like chattel. We are reapers. That still is ingrained, right? Especially in our institutions, in our public education system, and literally comes down to like the kind of, even the banks are perpetuating this, right? You get loans and you get disparities in that, and the fact that there's been cycles and like almost aspect of almost every part of our institution that's important, that matters to whether someone is successful or not, has those historical perspectives still ingrained in them, and people are still being perpetuated. Our narrative and our public education has never addressed our real history. They have given us this cookie-cutter fairy tale and then told us that we are now free, and it's not that way. So what do you suggest? What?
I mean, yeah.
Sorry?
College is actually hardest for Asians to get into, so yeah, just saying.
High school, but attend college that does not have a felony, and that I can point to specific things in their lifetime that were perpetuated by racist laws and policies, such as the crime bill.
I think like 3%.
2% black female was undocumented.
Yeah, well, yeah. Looking at numbers is not. You actually look at that. Look at the test scores. Actually.
I mean, but look at it.
Look at the test.
In comparison to the demographics,
and bought out the most houses in my
hometown. That's why I think we should improve schools in lower income areas. That's like I think we can all get behind. But like, it's not that's a state responsibility, not the college. The college should look at the scores, and by scores, it is harder for Asians and in the specific case of like private schools, the white non-legacy non-athletes to get in.
They have no power because of that. A collective power.
You know, that are being given funding based on the property taxes
that don't have that. They don't have to experience.
So equality and equity, they have to work together.
Are still experiencing devastation.
It's shown that affirmative action hasn't really worked because, in general, that doesn't solve the original problem. How about like?
Except it makes the playing field more level, right?
Not
so,
exactly.
Let's say there's a fence.
Well, the only people that have significant.
Let's say there's a fence.
I've heard that argument before. Yes.
You're 5'10" and I'm 5'5". You can see over the fence. I know both of us have access to see over the fence. Except I'm short and I can't see over the fence. The equitable thing to do would be to put a block there, and it's not by race. It's just
and realize it's at the top who are dividing us. They don't. I spoke to a lot of people.
Some of them voted for him because they wanted someone from outside the system. Now, is he going to do the job? Well, we'll see. If he cozy up.
At the end of the day, we're talking about billionaires.
Okay, but Hillary was like...
I'm not supportive of Hillary. I understand Hillary is involved in how she's devastated Honduras and places around the world. I've seen the direct impacts of Hillary's policies. Her Clintons, I do not fucking trust Democrats with a bone in my body. I am not a Democrat nor a Republican. I do not...
All right, so the cops are making a wall up here, so I'm just curious as to what's happening. Sorry I left that conversation with Joey Gibson abruptly.
Well, I think that maybe
just want to investigate what's going on here.
Is that going to make any sense to you? Or is that kind of going to fall on deaf ears? Ideology that's another is like... People here, you've got people linking arms, transgender people, every race, color, and creed. And I don't understand how you guys continue to use this argument that these Trump supporters are racist, bigots, and so on and so forth. That's not going to get you anywhere.
I'm sorry, I was not listening to what you said. I don't have any
bomb
I
threat.
don't know if you saw him, but
Someone called in a bomb threat on MLK building. That is the building just adjacent.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
said that he was a skinhead and racist and was yelling at the man accosting him. And he would actually go and talk to him, and that's why I brought him over. He realized that the guy has a medical
I'm not going to
condition.
repeat what he just said, because that could get me in trouble, but I think you heard what he just said. So you can see they've, looks like they've roped off this whole area in the distance. I don't know if you can see the yellow police tape, sheriff line, do not cross, down this way. And then you've got fire trucks in the distance. So it looks like something indeed is happening.
What's the law you're enforcing right now? What's the regular kind of bomb threat? Over? There's a bomb? Oh, really?
They won't tell you, but yes.
Well, is it or not? Well, that's why I want to know. I want to know what legal authority are we having? Are they protecting us? Or
I'll tell you the same thing they'll tell you. Ask the superior.
it looks like we have the higher ground, and because the revolutionary communists is supported by the administration, they're closing it down over. That's what it looks like to me as an American. We've got no communication. They cleared the plaza, and it looks like they have. We're not going to occupy the building.
Understand, these gentlemen don't want to lose their jobs. That's how they feed their families.
But I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
They don't want to speak out of line. They can't speak for a department.
True story. So I guess that's what's up.
We participate politically, and so that we can, have a better country for ourselves.
Yep, that's what's happening here.
We all have the need to make it better.
So, and the bomb either side
Hello. Yep, so we can see it is definitely blocked off down here. See the yellow line.
I would say that might be true for the people who are
They've made a line all the way. I don't know if you can see. There's a line all the way down here, down past the Disabled Students Program, Student Center, down this way here. And there's a whole other line of cops coming in the distance. You can see them down this way. So, I don't know if they're being kettled in or I don't think I thought I'm pontificating. I heard something about a BOMB threat. I don't want to say that out loud.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live at this point.
Well, I know you have no idea. That's why I spelled it out. I know you can't say anything. I'm just talking to the people who are back here. So yeah, you can see there's another line of cops coming through. The helicopters are coming in up here.
Anything else transpires?
And things are definitely quieting down in the middle. So I don't know if the tension is being felt, but it looks like the crowd is also thinning out as a result of all this. See, we've got a lot of onlookers.
What I heard, what I read last night, is the 800,000. That money was already allocated
for the entire
week.
Yeah.
So they got it.
Yeah,
they might as well spend it.
Well, these
it's
guys
already budgeted.
Yeah, they've all got their hotels. They've all got their squad cars. Show up and have our speeches.
I was telling some people the other day, man, Milo, he's a face of the movement.
I wouldn't give him that much credit.
No, he is a face.
A face, yes. He is a face of the movement, yes.
Milo's an interloper.
Yes.
He shows up, he does his speeches, he goes back home to his own little space. But it's us, the Berkeley heroes. We're the ones that are constantly on the front line. We're the soldiers of this movement.
Yes.
We're really the heart of this movement.
We're the ones putting ourselves at risk.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have
physical threats, doxing.
We don't have a halo of 7, ex-military security protecting us from anything. So while he's very necessary and important, this is the core of the movement.
Yeah.
We can go and have our own free speech week with or without him.
Yeah, and I hope that continues.
That is granted in the Constitution is not.
All right, well, we got to go over here.
Slavery ended with 500,000 people dying.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't want. No one wants it. Does anyone want a war where 500,000 people die?
Yeah, hey, how's it going, Kyle?
Yeah, it's going good. Thanks for coming out, guys.
What did they do?
Alex Jones revealed me about 10 years ago, so I've been a fan ever
Came up to me
since.
and told me I had shit locks. For no
So,
reason.
what do you
I was
think
literally
about
engaging with this woman,
how
talking about
so many people
Germanic
have
tribes
these
and
lying
history
and
in Europe?
necessary Antifa groups out here that don't believe in the free speech and they want to shut down
animals frothing at the mouth.
So this is what's been normalized on college campuses.
Wait.
You disagree?
So it's totally normal for people like this to show up, try to violently shut down free speech, and then...
That's a shitty thing for somebody to say to you. That's a shitty thing to say.
Exercise violence against them.
Nobody's on that team.
Like shouting at us, bringing at us.
We disavow that. Loudly, we disavow that.
Good. Talk to your homies. Because I've experienced people like you who are willing to engage and are willing to have a dialogue. But I've experienced like that guy where I didn't even know me, pointed at me and said, "You fascist bitch." I've experienced that on both sides.
It's a problem. It's hate. It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's hate, it's anger, and it's on both sides.
Okay.
Evil doesn't care about sides. It just wants to infect all our hearts and make us fight. That's all it wants. Evil's not racist. It wants to destroy you, it wants to destroy me, it wants to destroy
Can you show me who said it to you? Because I'll talk to him.
Kyle?
Kyle just got here.
Kyle
said that to you?
Yeah, there's videos, there's news reports.
Did he say it today?
Yeah, yesterday.
But also for the left, for the far left, for whoever. If we don't have our free speech, how are we ever going to be able to make progress? And that's why I'm here. That's why we're here. And the fact that we are constantly experiencing violence. We are attacked because we're attacked. So it's time that we finally stand our ground and fight for freedom of speech. We will be here and we will continue to be here until that has been finally made. Until the Berkeley administration.
Very valid points that you brought across. It's been good that you're sharing it with the group so that the dialogue can actually happen. I think that's the whole purpose of talking about it, is not going to war with each other. But when people have disagreements, not being violent with them, but having an open dialogue.
But how long do I have to keep talking?
Hopefully the rest of my life. Hopefully the rest of my life I'll continue
love,
talking.
truth, and disagreements. You don't love me? Love is getting rid of the hatred. No, I'm not political.
Outside of
You're not political. No, I'm not.
You're not political.
No, I'm not.
You don't stand for anything. Have a different point of view.
I stand for certain things, like I'm pro gay marriage, I'm against the drug war, I want to streamline legal immigration, but all that has to do with freedom, right? All that. It all has, like, gay rights, that's freedom. You should be allowed to have sex with whoever you want, as long as it's consensual, right? So you ask me a question, the answer is one way is going to go towards freedom, one way is going to go away from freedom.
So always in favor of liberty, personal freedom, states' rights.
What's that?
States' rights superior to federal government?
Not necessarily. Because if the state passes a law that doesn't respect the freedom of other people, then there's a problem. Right? You have to respect. So freedom means freedom for everybody. So I can't take away your freedom. That's why murder is illegal. Right? So it's not anarchy. So there's certain limits.
So
I hate the right and I hate the left.
So personal freedom. You hate the right and you hate the left. Yeah. So you're a radical centrist.
These parents should be very concerned because there's
are there existing politicians either in California or in Washington D.C. or elsewhere who you respect and admire?
The only politician I feel comfortable saying that about who's been consistent forever is Ron Paul. He's not in the office for me. He's consistently, he believes in principle. It's not about getting votes or politics, all that stuff. He's not a politician. He's a leader, you know? And he's the only one that's proved himself over and over again.
Of course he is.
He is a politician. And we'll see what he does. He's never had any experience. 100%. So he's a politician now.
I have been doxxed, I have been stalked, harassed, I have
No, he was a politician as a smart politician. I believe presidents expose themselves or show who they really are by the end of their 4 years. So I'm going to wait and see because I care about results. If our government's bigger and more corrupt and the poor is getting more and more and the rich gets more rich, then I'm going to have a problem.
So last week at the Fascist Europe.
Seriously, what did I do? If you're going to push me around, what did I do? I have no idea what your issue is. For the past 2.5 years, I've spent my time passing out flowers to strangers in public.
Could you define Nazi sign really quick? Because I was there. I didn't see any swastikas.
Talk about peace and get people to get along. I see that you've
I would love to see that. I didn't see no swastikas there.
Big triangle, so I'm guessing that
take the question in good faith as maybe ask the question.
So my question was,
I don't understand why you do that to me. I don't know if you know who I am or what I'm about. You know,
yet that same America is now willing on
about.
the basis of free speech to protect Nazis, to uphold those same values that somehow beat them all those years ago. So my question is for you. You're calling yourself. My question for you.
Government come in.
Can you respond to my question? My question for you is, you're calling yourself a patriot player and you're calling yourself a radical centrist, but don't you think by saying you're a patriot right now,
Why would you
police American police officers
be violent?
That patriot doesn't really hold the same meaning or values that it did all those years ago. It just doesn't.
Absolutely not. No.
What does Trump have to do with
all right, well,
what is Trump?
so that's what's going on here
I think that there's something wrong with the idea that it's okay for someone to say gas
that's what's happening.
innocent human beings. I think there's a problem with that. It's okay with someone saying
I guess they're out.
that's no longer
So that's not you.
No, it's not.
It is.
Because I can take the court and I can
obviously, you didn't want me to see whatever's going on over here, which again, I think is just a party. Yeah, looks like a bunch of people just having fun.
Well, that's different. That's libel.
I get called white supremacist.
That's libel.
I get that,
but we have libel laws.
Hate speech is free speech. You can say.
Also, the soup.
You can run around so you can't have a swastika sign.
Yes, because that symbolizes hatred. That's one.
Legally, can you have a swastika sign? No,
They don't want me to see you in
Yeah, because America is fucking not
other radicals that aren't saying gas,
I think that if you want to have this dialogue, I think you need to start talking with your own people and the Trump supporters that are within your group and get on the same page. Because you're not on the same page. Not all of you are on the same page.
What page?
Speech is arbitrary for not using it, so you're not.
I mean, a lot of people here believe in my message, the message of freedom and love wholeheartedly.
Well, that was interesting.
Right here.
Start burning oil as much as they possibly can.
You know, Jed, if someone's pushing me around for no reason, I'm going to put the camera on them for my safety. It doesn't matter if they're anti-fascist, they're actually behaving in a fascist manner. So that person was not an anti-fascist, despite whatever their shirt said. The person was not an anti-fascist.
I do not want my particular supporting Breitbart and Donald Trump, and there's definitely an agenda.
Extend the same opportunity.
What do you think about how these anti-Trump people and anti-fascists, by any means necessary groups, continually use this argument that, you know, Trump supporters are all homophobic and racist and bigots?
Oh, it's a complete lie. The Trump supporters have been the most welcoming people out of anybody. These are the terrorists, BLM, the Black Antifa, BAM. These are the ones that's always out there yelling and screaming at me. I tried to go to an Antifa rally alone the other day in Berkeley. I went out there to try to reach out to talk to them. All I did was just scream and call the terrorists. It was supposed to be a welcoming rally to transgenders there as well, but I wasn't welcome there because I happen to support Trump and I happen to support American ideology and I'm against the global.
I understand, but I have a dedication to this moving forward.
People have to
thank you, Terry.
We'll be the first to go when they bring in their new regime of this Marxism. They're not going to tolerate homosexuality. They're not going to tolerate anybody, especially revolutionaries. They always kill them first because they're afraid that if they win against them, they'll turn against them. They go, we got to get rid of those. Not in the long
teachers started crying in the classroom
have to understand we're being used in these communities. These people don't love us, and I'm living proof of that. I've tried to reach out and talk to these people. They don't care about us. They want to use us. And the minute we go against them, they show their true colors. Like they were telling me yesterday, take your wig off, show you're a man, show this and that. They were attacking me for being transgender, believe it or not, trying to make fun of me and call me a man when I was in People's Park yesterday. So that's what happens. They're liars. They're some of the most hateful people.
Yet if it was a Trump supporting group that did that to you, it'd be all over the mainstream media.
Yeah, and they're always the most welcoming. They're the ones like, when I was in Portland, Oregon, they say they hate us so much, right? I was in Portland, Oregon giving a speech. I said, I'm going to go across the street trying to talk to these LGBT over, see if I can reach out to them. The security that is supposed to be all white, right? They're supposed to claim they are. They said, hell you are. You're not going to cross there. They'll kill you. This side is attacking me. This side's trying to...
That's exactly it. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Okay, yeah, one more thing.
I'm hoping Donald Trump will come out here and investigate this stuff and bring the hammer down on it. These are terrorists. They need to be investigated. And we're calling on you, President Trump. I know you watch InfoWars. I've watched InfoWars for years, by the way. Hi, Alex out there. I always want to say hi to Alex. But anyways, we need Donald Trump to come in this place and bring the hammer down. These are terrorists. They are Marxist terrorists. They're trying to overthrow this government. So please, President Trump, come in and bring the hammer on.
I've read the program. I love you, Donald Trump. I love you, Alex Jones. You know, I want Trump to know that we support
everyone
you.
here is insane.
We love you out here in
right
Berkeley.
on that. Satan does want you to love money and things, materialism.
And we're going to continue to fight these radical Marxist ideologues who are backed by George Soros, and we both know this, Alex. And they're terrorists, and they're being funded by George Soros. And this is a deep-rooted conspiracy that goes back to Bush Sr. This is a long-fought battle. And finally, we have a president who is here in office that is fighting for the people and not for the establishment.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you. Hold on. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can talk to Joey Gibson again.
I need to get some water. That's what's going down.
So we have Tiny here who pals around with Joey Gibson. Tiny, do you want to say something to InfoWars on War Room?
What's up, everybody? Big Boy Tiny here, all the way from Washington State. Just want to tell everybody to stand up for what you believe in. Stop living in fear. No, you can't let these groups that come up with violence try to intimidate us with fear. Tell them no more. We're going to keep on standing. We're not going to see this country burn to the ground. God bless America. Red, white, and blue all the way up.
Remember Tiny, right?
Yes.
Did that little show on him?
Because
this is the guy that would run around. He believed in the lies that there's racists around every Trump supporter is racist.
I'll come back.
Yeah, this guy's changed so many hearts and minds. He did an amazing speech in San Francisco. This guy's 21 years old, and he's changing the world. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming out here to stand for free speech to help protect the First Amendment and freedom on UC Berkeley campus.
We seem to be doing it right now.
Doing it right now. Isolated if you want to have like a productive conversation and address that other people.
We did yesterday when we went down to the park. We invited anyone who wanted to speak to come up, and we got shouted down.
Yeah, because
I paid money to be here.
you're paying money to attend. The way that I see it, the way that the folks that I have spoken to see it,
an advisor to see me because they're underfunded. But you have $1 million to spend on all of this for the entire week. How is that freedom? How is that freedom?
I don't know if it's the best economic policy
tactical gear,
for instance.
Wearing
freedom that I'm looking for is for these cops to respect
aggressive slogans and stuff like
regardless of whether I'm a Muslim or white.
That doesn't send a message.
I understand that that's
with the stuff that Joey says on his live
I think we can agree that that's a good goal.
But right
folks
now,
that
we need
y'all
to recognize
associate
the reality of the now. And then now is that that's not happening.
That doesn't send a
and if you
message
point to a specific instance where an officer of our government
really want to
at
have
all
these
trying
kinds
to
of
stifle your
conversations.
abilities,
I agree that there are some people that are loosely in the association that aren't.
So if you do want to have these conversations, it requires a little bit more effort to reach out ahead of time to say, let's organize something together. Let's set something up. Let's put together a panel. Let's organize an event together.
It looks like
Rather than showing up in somebody's face in tactical gear saying, fuck Antifa.
Yeah,
That's not, and the dialogue that's happening is
I got assaulted by Antifa myself, and I say fuck Antifa a lot. Because I hate the word
You're allowed to take that position.
Yes.
But if you take that position, you are foregoing the opportunity. You're foreclosing the opportunity to have a real conversation with someone who might.
I personally don't want to have conversations with them because they try to set me on fire.
I don't want to have a conversation.
Yeah, because they're. I've seen their violence. I have personally experienced their violence. So there's really. I don't want to talk to somebody that wishes to do me harm. And experiencing what I believe they're about, I don't think anything can be productive from that.
And that is very similar to what folks on who maybe associate with Antifa, but just folks who maybe don't even associate with Antifa.
But you do understand that that is the line. Violence is the line of no return. Or for a lot of people.
For a lot of people.
Like once
there are people who are other folks of color, women who have had similar experiences at the hands of either groups that Paper and Proud Boys share an affinity with or share political ideologies with. And so as a result, then people don't want to talk. That requires, like this young lady is doing right here, like the other young lady was doing before, and like Joey was doing. It requires a show of faith.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And showing up with tactical gloves, body armor, showing
you know why they do that, right?
Looking to start a fight.
No. You know why they do it.
It doesn't matter why they do it.
It does matter.
No, because you don't have to do that. If you reached out ahead of time and actually did the organizing work, you wouldn't have to do that. Because all of the Antifa groups would know that, okay, this is like they're not showing up for a fight.
No.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
No. And in fact, I'll refute that right now. I'll counter that right now. So, last year in San Jose, before all this stuff really started happening, Trump held a rally. Do you remember this? He held a rally in San Jose at the SAP Center. It was mostly elderly people and white folks and stuff. When they left, they got the shit kicked out of them. None of them. There was no body armor. There were no weapons.
What does that have to do with this right here?
It's a continuation of it. What I'm saying is, you're saying that you're admonishing Tiny for showing up in tactical gear.
Or just Tiny.
Or some people.
It's not just Tiny.
You're saying that some people come up and they look like they're ready to go.
No, I'm not.
And I'm saying that even when people didn't come up ready to go, they got the shit kicked out of them. So I have no problem with somebody wearing a helmet because they want to be safe. And they don't want Eric Clinton to come out with a bike lock and clock them. Is that not a legit concern?
Y'all held a rally with fucking Kyle Chapman yesterday. So don't both sides me about how there's extremism.
Somebody pulled a knife on Kyle.
Why
shouldn't they?
It looks like
If I'm using your logic, Kyle beats people up.
When Kyle tagged somebody, they pulled a knife on him. That's the escalation. It's like we have one group.
What I'm saying is that if you reached out to the by any means necessary organizers, if you reached out to New Sanctuary Coalition, if you reached out to progressive and liberal student groups on campus and said, we sincerely want to try to bridge this divide, that event, anything that came out of that would be publicized, it would be clear to everyone on campus and in the community that this was not about performing political violence.
I don't believe that's possible.
You don't believe that's possible?
Because
it's clearly possible right here. It's clearly possible.
I don't think reaching out to BAM and refuse fascism would be productive. Kyle, Yvette is who she is. But she assaulted Kyle the other day with his hands up. He got arrested for it. She doesn't want to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
she doesn't want to talk. So why would I reach out to that? Like, why would I put myself, to experience that form of negativity that I don't think is going to be productive?
Yeah, they're yelling at Donald Trump.
If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I just don't see how it's being productive.
But imperialism didn't just
especially in my view, as I see them as extremists.
So again, so you just don't think it's possible, and you don't want to make the effort. And you don't have to.
No. I'm talking about right now.
Again,
where our modern state
Is it possible? Could somebody, could Joey or somebody else bridge the gap and do the olive branch to Yvette or BAM as an organization or review that? It's possible. But from my personal experience, to me, and this is an extreme, you know, and I understand like how this is going to sound, it would be like if the KKK burned my house down, and then the next week is someone asking me like, oh, invite them over to dinner so y'all can talk about what happened. Like, Antifa's assaulted me, you know, they've sent me death threats, you know, tried to dox me, like. So I don't see how we can have a conversation. As a person of color, I don't see how I can have a conversation with them. Somebody probably can. Me personally, since I've had personal experience and been on the south side of their aggression, I don't want to give it me personally. I don't want to give it time.
Given the experiences that you've had, I can understand why you wouldn't. I talk to other folks in your group, and they are willing to do that.
But I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
But they haven't. That's good. And it's been. What?
Well, Yvette allegedly reached out to Milo and wanted to do a debate with him on stage. He posted a screenshot of an email. I don't know, allegedly. I don't know if it's real or not. So I thought that would have been great. I've been really nice to see.
And what happened?
Oh, well, the event didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
For whatever reason, I have my theories. Because either Milo didn't want it to happen, or I mean, that's him. You know, I can't speak for him. So it would have been nice.
So drugs that so as a white male, I have rights to drugs.
But I think maybe you can see why folks might feel like you're not coming here in good faith. Can you at least, is that?
Oh, wait, no, I definitely agree with, I can understand why they think that we're not here in good faith. Absolutely.
So then why not make an effort to?
I think their vision of that and their assumptions of that are incorrect. But I do understand why they think that we're not here in good faith. And like you said, that is the reason why we should reach out to them. You're not necessarily wrong. I mean, like I said, I can only speak for me. Like, I don't see it being productive because I have some animosity regarding that.
Yeah, and maybe you're not the best person to do it.
But I will say, I hope it happens. I hope somebody can do it.
Are you going to take action within your organization to try to encourage and like you can do things within your group? Why haven't you done that?
No one's ever mentioned it to me before until just now. So
it didn't even occur to you?
No.
Well, we'll see. Who knows?
You planted the seed. So maybe it can happen.
We'll see if that ever comes to pass.
I'll tell you this. This won't continue much longer. Like this whole police presence and fighting in the street. Like there was an end date for this. It'll fizzle out at some point.
It seems like it has already.
Yeah. What we saw in Berkeley in the months past, I don't see a repeat of that. There might be some tiny scuffles, but we're not going to see sticks and bats in the street again.
So do you?
Even though.
Are you a member of Patriot Prayer?
I'm not a member. I'm not in this close community, but I run with Joey.
So can you give a clear articulation of what the group actually stands for?
I think Joey describes it pretty well. Joey talks about how he's trying to get the left and right and moderates, to come close to the center. Have an expression of love and freedom. Yeah.
Do you have any feelings about what the content of the conversation or the outcomes ought to be?
I'm less concerned about the outcomes because what he says is what he says. And if people take that the wrong way or interpret it the wrong way, that's on them. If I put out a tweet right now that's either a joke or humorous and someone says, oh, that's hate speech or that, well, I'm not responsible for how you interpret it. And the words on their surface, what Joey says, are pretty, in my eyes, are pretty legit. If people get something different, unintended from that, that's on that individual. And you can't hold him responsible. You can't force him to clarify because one person or even a handful of people get the incorrect message.
Do you sincerely want to start a conversation with people who mistrust each other, then that is not compatible with what you just said.
How not? Because you need to make the extra effort. If someone misunderstands what you're trying to say, and you want to have a conversation with them, you can't just tell them to go fuck themselves.
No, I'm not saying tell them to go fuck themselves. But if I say, you know, love, peace, respect everybody, and then somebody says, well, you only mean that for like a small group of people. I'm like, no, I don't. I mean that for everybody. No, you don't. And they keep saying, I'm like, well, I can't help you. If you don't believe the words that I've said, you know, there's only so far I can further clarify. You know, does that make sense? I'm only responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for how people interpret it.
You're not responsible for how people interpret it. But if the goal is to create a space where people with divergent and maybe even fundamentally contradictory views can come together and like hash them out and maybe
by being rational, I'm not talking to you.
This isn't preparing anyone for the real world. You guys think you're gonna have safe spaces in the real world? You don't know what the fuck. You think you're gonna have triggers?
The young lady here.
Oh, I'm the white devil
about
now.
free speech.
So
Joey says free speech.
So they think they're going to have safe spaces when they go out there. They think they're going to have trigger warnings when they're in the real world. That's not the way the real world
for the most part, without
works.
getting into the details of the semantics of it.
Shutting down a liberal rally. You said that never happened. That's what you're doing. You're contradicting yourself, Kyle. You're contradicting yourself. Just walk away.
And staunchly
and then you can keep the high ground.
These things are
Kyle,
hate
you're
speech.
losing the moral high
And
ground.
Joey says, no,
Because you're shutting down
that's
the
free
liberal
speech.
rally. You said the conservatives never
And
do
she
that.
continues to
No,
say
we're not
no,
shutting
and
it
she
down.
has a
I
very
just
hard
stood here.
line.
You are. You're
You know, like, no, if you say X, Y, and Z, or things along this line, that's hate speech, and I have every right to shut you down, or I have every right to either call the cops or something like that. It's hard to have a conversation after that. What I'm getting at is,
I mean, I get the irony. I get the irony of it, but that's about it.
Wouldn't it be easier to walk away?
Walk away.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
Yeah,
it would be beneficial, but like they can't go anywhere. They just can't go anywhere.
you do want to have.
I think a lot of the students here are inbred, actually. So there's like a
I will say that Joey is about the conversation. I am less about the conversation. I'm more into. I come out of a form of defiance. I didn't give a shit about this until Antifa acted recklessly. Didn't care. Would have never been here had been insulted. So I show up as a kid. So Milo came in February. I saw his videos the months prior. I thought he was crass and rude and stupid, but I also recognized what he was doing. He called me provocateur. He was trying to get under people's skin, trying to be funny about it, and being a troll. I was like, all right, you're going back to jail. I'm a better professional wrestler. So the loudest guy on the block, that's talking shit, I can recognize when you're just a shit talker and you're trying to rile up people. All right, I'll go down and sit at a lecture that you're doing. I emailed Milo. I said, listen, I'm liberal, registered Democrat, but I still respect you. I see you, but all the tickets are sold out.
I just wanted to come
I guess you know what? That's great.
Here's a good example of what liberal intolerance looks
so
like.
I show up.
These guys
get canceled,
get in your
fired,
face.
and
They do everything they can to stifle free speech. They're the most intolerant people in the world.
I just came to hear him speak.
And they're actually, they're almost like gang members.
And that's when I started talking to CNN. What I didn't realize is Antifa members were behind me. When they heard that,
they're like,
45 minutes
what are you
later,
doing on our turf?
when everything was calming down,
you guys act like. You're like gang members.
When I got assaulted, and a guy called me a Nazi. I got it on video. And I said, excuse me, he said, you're a fucking Nazi. I'm like, why?
From the
like,
north to
you
the
came here to see
south,
Milo. I'm like,
there is no liberal turf. There is no, you guys can't exercise conservative speech in my city because it's a liberal city or a liberal university.
I can only assume that be true because I'd like to think that they wouldn't willingly assault a person of color in the company of, I I hate bringing it. Well, fuck it, I'll say it. Like, yeah, dude, I'm black, you know. And the reality is, like, I have some level of privilege being male and black, and some level of like invisible shielding that somewhat immune to like their assaults and attacks.
You're someone, right?
Because what I saw when I was out here, they were attacking people with MAGA hats on and white people, right? And I was laughing. I was like, hey, y'all fuck white people being racist.
They've been walking into our group all day long.
I get it,
but did you see anybody behave that way when they came into our group?
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like, at one point earlier, like yesterday, you were saying, well, conservatives never interrupt like a Bernie Sanders round.
Okay.
But
this
then
is not a
then I went home and got
This is an open.
got mad. Also that evening, I had talked to some people who were in MAGA hats and stuff, and we had really reasonable conversations. And I was hard on them too. I was like, why would you come out here and wear that? You know, you understand what that represents? And they tell me, like, no, I'm not racist. And within reason, I mean, and I challenged them. I said, but you're wearing a MAGA hat, you're doing this. How can you tell me, you know, you're not supporting racism? And they gave me an explanation, and some of them were good.
You're playing with words, dude. Just because
maybe they do have a reason for
someone, right? A big someone.
And at the end of the day, if you don't fucking live with us, and not hurting me. So when I was
I'm not saying being
walking over there is not trying
to have some more conversation, realize that there were local people out here, and to further the information I was receiving, I went out to some of their events, and it was all, you know, they had the one on the 4th, I believe, in March. You know, I wanted to go to that just to be in the presence, you know, and that turned into a shit show. So that's how it started with me.
So now it's just a matter of what? So
there's a small level of defiance. There's a small level of defiance.
It's going to be a big fucking shit show. And
now you're being like me.
I'm not. Well, no, there's a big difference between me like standing on the outskirts and holding my camera
like happen in Menlo Park.
Right?
There's a part of me that's like, you do need numbers.
Chances of it turning into
whatever that's how this game's happening.
No. There's a big difference between me standing on the outskirts.
They recognize.
I'm going to be on your side.
I will probably do so.
I was going to talk about I was going to talk about trans lives. I was going to talk about homelessness. I was going to talk about, you know,
turn ugly, and then
politicians, you know, incorrectly using the funds.
Are you on $135,000
which I thought was really,
bail?
really
That's why I'm not. That's not why I'm saying.
And I was going to have an audience to speak to. Things that didn't compromise any of my beliefs, you know, that I thought people would want to hear, but I didn't get that opportunity. You know? So for me, there's a little fuel to it, you know. You put out a video on the internet, everyone likes what you do, they want to see more of you, you know, they start aligning themselves with you, and, you know, and kind of cheerleaders online, like, you know, go up to this.
You know, it's actually closed, like, QVC isn't even open.
It was a slow progression, so here now.
We didn't close it.
Yeah, okay, maybe it is kind of radical, yeah. But that's what I mean.
So there's positions that you wanted to speak about.
So right now, I'm being dictated that I am being told that I cannot go in an area. Why? Because they don't want me to. No, that's too fucking bad.
August 26th, yeah.
Given the opportunity,
keep it nice. Just hit me in the dick.
I think it's
This fucking one just hit me in the dick with the hat. Get her face, dude.
Just let it go.
I think there's a lot of people in the life that are challenged by Antifa, by BLM members and stuff, and they don't see it in the context of which I see it in. So they'll proudly say Blue Lives Matter and all lives matter, but when it comes to the topic of Black Lives Matter comes up, all they think of is riots, all they think of is like BLM members shutting down highways and the violence associated with it. And I try to tell them, Black Lives Matter in the concept is a beautiful thing. And there's a reason why we chant it, there's a reason why that movement has come about. because there's been a history of not only oppression, but a lack of accountability, you know, for issues that are very important to us.
Destroyed this building all because of one conservative speaker while you're not listening to speak. This has got to stop. This is Orwellian. This is madness acting in this manner over speech. Words that aren't capable of such harm.
It's not productive.
In mundane speech at that, like, it's not like fucking Richard Spencer. This is Milo. This is Ben Shapiro. This is like Ann Geller and Lauren Southern.
When you have a group unified that are saying fuck white people, I understand why people on the right get frustrated and angry and refuse to say Black Lives Matter because they feel attacked. And I try to get them to understand.
During Ben Shapiro, we had
one, not about you. Two,
we do not support this white supremacy
bullshit. You're mad that they don't see your perspective. Call you racists and Nazis. I know you're not. You call them anarchists and thugs and shit, and they're not either. Let me tell you why. And I'm one of the few people in their group who can have that conversation about the reason.
And they were calling him a white supremacist. And Nazis. He's Jewish. He's speaking Jewish. This explains, and then booster groups. This explains the mentality of UC Berkeley's thought and how ignorant they are to the fact that conservatives are not, you know, they're not all white supremacists. That's a fringe group. Like Richard Spencer's fringe. And yet they sliver, and yet they support, and yet they
most of us don't even consider them right wing because the economic policies they espouse are leftists.
And I don't want
to be national socialist style economic policies.
Hey, nice to see you again. What was your name again? Edwin. Rod with a D at the end.
Yeah, they're not. So why are conservatives like North Southern,
it was interesting. It was good that we had the meetings at the beginning of the discussion. But when they tried to topple the tent, obviously that changed the tone of things.
I'd be the first one to drop the beginning and everybody. Maybe someone else just but I understand why. If I believe it too. Yeah, give me the gun. You know, get the gun. Let's get the gun. Let's go. You're really great with it. Oh, let me get these guns.
Do you think that would happen?
We're going to mock them for just the actions and then not take the
And you know, sometimes people don't have the capacity to listen because they're so kind of wound up.
Right.
So we just need patience to, kind of be present, call for listening, and then at some point, hopefully, once they feel like they're heard or feel safe, they're willing to start listening. I gotta have patience and kind of persistence. I was grateful you were there.
Well, maybe important things in a situation where it's hard to be heard. If you're the one that can be heard, then you can moderate things and keep it safe. Of course, now I feel a little bit of that, and they said, well, who made you moderate? And I'm always welcome to let people use it, but
somebody saying you were a moderator, you were trying to moderate?
Well, just Kyle, who you were just talking to, who just came here, they weren't letting him through, and Kyle was also trying to get in, and they were shouting him down, and I was trying to do a little... I was trying to talk the first Kyle Chapman, just to come out because by virtue of him being a someone, a celebrity of sorts, that he was inflaming the situation just by being nearby. And he said, no, you're just trolling me. So it didn't matter. I was trying to speak rationally to Kyle Chapman. He felt I was trolling him. The people on the left said that I'm not qualified to be, or I don't know what they said, but like who made me moderator, something to that effect. Some of them. Seems like tensions are just so high. Everyone sees it as star-bellied sneeches. It's the left and the right. And stuff. Being from the Dr. Seuss, and it was just everyone's either blue or they're red, and you gotta go.
He's like, well, you support Trump, and I always tell people no, I never said that.
Exactly.
You still support freedom of speech? I'm like, yeah. So you're with us? Well, maybe, but how many folks like yourself who have
kind of looking at creating a culture, we need to really transform society so that empathy, listening, dialogue, and solutions becomes a core value.
but
I would
nevertheless.
have seen, instead of using the police here and spending, I don't know how many millions of dollars they're spending, if they would have trained listeners, if they would have had 200 listeners out there, you know, with
people that are trying to,
you know, shirts. And then actually go
Here's
and
a theory
engage
that I have.
people.
Yeah.
And they could have done that
We
for
all have the same
$100,000 and it
politics.
would
We
have
just have different priorities.
transformed the space instead of bringing the police.
Left and right.
You know,
Let me give you a weird example. Let me give you a weird analogy. No, it's a crazy thing to say. It's okay. Let me explain.
I'm an artist.
It's a crazy assumption. It's something I thought of yesterday.
Kind of.
We all want homeless people on the street, right?
Somehow, by
I don't think that
the need to
No, I
spread the
actually walked
truth
by
since
people that were
I
laughing
saw
at
a reality that was being distorted by the media.
Let me rephrase. I can never say all. There's always going to be the fringe.
That's not even more better.
Yeah, I think a lot of people understand criminalized. I'm from a community. Kyle Chapman. I just already
I fully feel that the media distortions.
I come from a community that is not a city, it's a very small town.
Who I'm vehemently against. That said, all the other people who
I was hurt and I was crying and I was like, what the
apparently
fuck?
hate me for trying
It's like a really small, like very
moderate,
town. So that led
trying
into
to talk
seeing
about
people
what
walk
led to
by
this
and make
situation.
jokes and you know, that's a
This is what
level
the
of
oligarchs and
dehumanization that has been like controlling.
Well, that's ignorance and.
If they have
Yeah, but that's also
everyone
like the
fighting
fact
each
that
other's
California
throats,
has passed over 500.
then they can
California
speak in backroom deals in Congress and pass whatever laws
Municipality.
they
Yes,
want.
I have problems.
Further
That and
enslave
like
us,
towns
push down
and
the
cities
wages,
that passed
destroy the
about
planet,
over
continue
500
raping
laws,
us,
policies,
and
like
we'll have a
regulations,
very
whatever,
dystopian future to look
to
forward to.
criminalize cases rather than actually doing something to
what
like
you were seeing
to address
was not
Because it doesn't make
some
money.
kind of reality in the media.
So many said
I interrupted the theory that
The generalization is most people want to see homeless people off the street and be fruitful to some degree and, you know, be whoever they are.
want this polarization so they can continue
Absolutely
believe
doing
that.
their,
Yeah,
but
or
even
support
before the
that.
hyper
Rightly
polarization, it was
too,
very
but
clear
the
to me
priority
that people
is
wanted Bernie Sanders.
veterans first.
Unequivocally,
Or,
there's no
you
doubt
know,
in my
not,
mind. Hillary
you know, or
Clinton could
legal
not
people
fill a
first.
high school gymnasium.
So
That said,
another
she was,
example. Yeah, so that's
she was
just
in
we
touch
believe
with
the same
oil
thing.
companies who were
But
in
the
touch with,
priority is different.
The other big oligarchs
Another
were
example is
in bed with Time Warner Cable, who own all the big
God, I had
media
like 3 of them
companies. So their
yesterday. I'm trying to
narrative
remember,
was,
like,
of
what I
course,
came
that
up with.
Hillary Clinton was the most electable choice. Even if you look at the WikiLeaks,
we want to see,
she had
you know,
a
better
plan,
healthcare.
and this was leaked
For all
out
people.
that said we want to encourage
the right might say,
high-type
but not
candidates,
really,
Donald Trump,
because they
Ben
have-
Carson,
they're
will use
they don't have
to
the right
easily
to it.
destroy them and push
You know,
Hillary
so
up.
we all want the
So
same
they
thing,
actually
just the priorities
they
are a little
created
different.
Donald Trump by intentionally pushing him to the spotlight. When in reality, they knew that they were always going to stack Bernie Sanders.
there is
Ralph Nader and Chris Hedges were predicting.
I believe that the right.
The first year before he even ran, it was easily predictable for anyone who's actually paying attention to the situation. But right now, it's starting to look like he's on the point of repair. Putting on a little band-aid isn't going to make this happen. All we can do is continue the live stream. But the problem is my live stream is probably not seen by conservatives, even if it is.
Those are actually not
interpreted in the
sound
opposite way of
but those are
say
actually
liberals would interpret it. You know, which gets into that whole postmodernist. And any one image, if you look at AI and what AI does, can interpret that in an infinite amount of ways. So the only reason that people decide anything is for an ascension of power. That's the only reason they interpret anything in any particular way.
Kind of understanding what you're saying is that you're a Bernie supporter.
No.
No, you weren't a Bernie.
What makes you think that?
I know. That's why I'm.
I know. I'm trying to provide empirical evidence with what I've seen with my own eyes. I talked to Bernie Sanders about being beat up by Donald Trump's goons at one of his rallies. He said he would look at the video, and Bernie Sanders is he lacks the courage of his conviction. He said he'd look at the video.
I misunderstood.
Well, I think I was being very clear that it was. That
so you're saying you're not Bernie supporter?
No, and I'm telling you exactly why. Because he's a liar. He lacks the courage of his convictions. He's just as bad as any of the other politicians. If you've gone to enough of the Bernie Sanders rallies, I mean, he's far less bad than Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. But I could see that he was just going to be a sheepdog, as as Ralph Nader predicted, as Chris Hedges predicted.
So Bernie was like a sheepdog as well as. Hillary, you're seeing her being kind of controlled by the oligarchs, and that they kind of suppressed Bernie, and
well, that was all.
And that you're trying to kind of foster, sounds like be a mediator or foster facilitation between the different sides.
I do some of that. First and foremost would be to show reality. I mean, but I can see, you know, for the most part, I mean, you're not aware of Bernie Sanders' behavior. It sounds like. It sounds like you're not aware of, you know, a lot of the other things that have gone on. And so there's not enough live streams that I could do in the world to actually truly combat the cascade of disinformation that's being pumped out into the world by the mainstream media. Look at all the people out here. Can I possibly compete?
Yeah. So you're saying that you're wanting to get the reality out there, and that it's hard to get reality out there with kind of all the different competing forces out there. That you have like a limited audience, and it's hard to. Maybe you're feeling some frustration that you're not able to get your truth out there to the.
It's not my truth. There's an empirical truth. I'm trying to be neutral.
Okay. So you're trying to get. You're feeling some frustration. You can't get empirical truth out there. The neutral.
No, I am putting it out there. It's a matter of whether people pay attention.
So you are putting it out there, but it's like maybe some frustration about wanting more people to pay attention.
No, people aren't going to pay attention.
Oh. So you have a realization that people.
My frustration was that you didn't listen to the words that I said. You weren't an empathy moderator like your job is to be. You were not listening to what I was saying and giving it back to me. Empirically what I'd say to you.
Yeah, so you're feeling frustrated with me because I'm advocating for empathy and I'm not doing a good job of articulating and giving back to you what you're saying. So you're feeling frustration with me.
Correct.
Yeah. So do you feel heard that I get it?
Oh, well, now I think that you get it now.
Well, I'll say, can I say one thing?
Sure.
It's hard. Sometimes that's why I ask for a reflection. I try to give a reflection to see if I understood you. It's not guaranteed that I understood you. I'm asking if I do, and if I don't, then I can try again. So that's why I ask, so that I can kind of get more attuned to what it is that you're saying. So I'm glad that in the end that you really felt that I heard you.
It's all good. But you would. Yeah, a lot of people, when I try to explain what went on, they said, "Well, so you're a Bernie Sanders supporter," and I. Over and over again, I can't think of any other way to tell the story which would make people think that I'm not a Bernie Sanders supporter. Just because I'm empirically saying that that's what the people wanted, and there's leaks to that effect. What would make you believe that makes me support it?
Yeah, so I just made an assumption there instead of just reflecting back.
I got to go, but yeah, I'll talk to you in a minute.
Never need help. The likelihood of would be greatly diminished.
But maybe some different campuses.
All right, so the police have come in to apparently stand in the middle of the party, so that's what we got going on here all of a sudden. So that's happening. Insanity. Mass insanity. Hey, what's up, Luke? Good to see you. Likewise. Pushing out someone with an umbrella. Oh, it's Kyle. That's great separation. This is the one time I actually want to hear.
It's like, it's iffy. It's iffy, but they took the goods in the first place. They started to move over here. They should have already been here from Berkeley. We think that's what I own on our allies. Because then we got our allies.
I would agree. That is more reasonable.
Like, it shouldn't be like that.
So if you can see, that it looks like Kyle has started the sinking here, meaning bald-headed Kyle. Looks like that's what the situation is for anyone who can see this. And
very curious. This person with the umbrella. Try to walk around. So, hey. So. You're really doing this? Come on.
Why does none of that matter? Like, are you pro-gay marriage as well? Like, where can you find common ground? That's what I want to find. I assume you guys hold a lot of liberal views. No, I'm a student in San Francisco. Marriage equality movement was a sham. Why didn't you include polygamy? I find the leftist person. You can have it over there.
Hey Kyle, what's up?
I'm not polygamous consent.
That's fine.
Why didn't you include polygamy in your marriage equality
Because people
movement?
like you don't want to, not people like me.
How do you know that? Why do you even assume that about me? I have a page. You don't know. Once you go to marriage equality, legalize polygamy, and you can like eat your words about thinking I don't support polygamy.
Okay, so then why do you bring it up to the table? If you and I agree on polygamy, why is polygamy the problem? You're talking about something else.
No, I was attacking them and you chimed in.
No, because you're saying, oh, you want polygamy after. It's like, well, it's
No, what I was saying was the marriage equality movement was a sham. It wasn't marriage equality, it was the gay rights movement. If it was marriage equality, you would have included polygamy.
No, because that's specific. You argue for specific
So yeah, this is what's going on here, folks.
What's
going on, man?
Hey, so basically, this guy right here.
May I turn this on you for a more vibrant live feed?
Yeah, go right ahead. So this gentleman here associated with
Kyle, Bald Kyle.
Sure, I'm not sure of his name.
That's Kyle, yeah.
All right, so the man associated with Patriot Prayer, Kyle, came over here, was trying to engage people in discussion. He was having a discussion with a gentleman earlier who I believe is affiliated with the group that was gathering here. And it seemed like they were listening to each other, having a genuine conversation, and then a group of other people came over, encouraged the gentleman affiliated with this group not to engage him with conversation, and then began trying to block people from seeing him with t-shirts, with umbrellas, with signs, and then and telling him basically he had to leave. His argument was, the reason I'm not leaving is because you guys are trying to command me to leave. Inversely, the gentleman who was having the good, seemingly fruitful conversation with him earlier encouraged him to walk over there to continue the conversation. And Kyle, you were referring to him, said that he did not want to go over there to continue the conversation and stayed here. At that point, I was a little bit curious whether he was trying to stay here for the purpose of acquiring attention.
I believe he is.
More than actually engaging in discussion, which was a little bit disappointing because I had been hoping he was just on the side of opening discussion, not prior to that.
And it is his right to do so, but...
Correct. It just may not be the most useful tactic for unifying.
Kyle Chapman was doing the same thing, and I made the point to Kyle Chapman that you're currently doing what you claimed conservatives have never interrupted a Bernie Sanders or a liberal rally. He uses Bernie Sanders as an example. And he's like, no, man, you're just trolling me now. I'm like, no, I'm calling you out as doing the opposite of what you claim to be.
There's been an increased trend of, that I've seen this week, of the right co-opting tactics that are typically associated with the left, that the right was previously decrying as anti-free speech.
Well, and the left, the right is adopting. I'm sorry. Well, they're all adapting each other's.
Right.
I mean, Trump with the signs. That was a right-wing tactic at the Trump rallies to hold up the signs, so I couldn't speak if I wanted to. So now this is what the left wing is doing. They're holding up signs to block out my camera from filming me talking Kyle Chapman into leaving.
Right? And earlier today...
Which is ironic because I'm trying to help them by getting Kyle Chapman to leave.
Right, but because you who are taking an ostensibly neutral stance, and you're not on their side, you are therefore, in their logic, against them. As I found earlier, I tried to have a conversation with one of them, convince them that I was a liberal. They didn't care. I was repeatedly told I was a cunt, and that I was with the conservatives, even though the only sense that I can be said to be with the conservatives is that they're lumping me in as the other with the conservatives.
Yeah, one of the folks here, I think, was wearing an it was like the fascist fist, but with a pink triangle. So I'm pretty sure they were a liberal. Like started pushing me around over here. It was like just like the right does, the whole the shoulder lunge thing. But they were actively chasing me with their shoulder, and I said, do you have any idea what I'm about, or anything about me? Because
they know that you're not specifically on their side.
I am specifically for the issue on his shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
And I told him that flat out.
But in that moment, were you aligning with their tribe?
I said I align generally on the left, but I'm a free thinker, and I don't think that pushing people or blocking free speech or letting someone walk in a public space is a fruitful thing to be doing.
And that seems to be the crucial disagreement. If you disagree on that, you don't belong. You can agree on a whole host of other issues, but if you disagree on tactics, you're immediately otherized.
Evidently.
Which is disappointing. It seems like it only leads to more extremist attitudes and conflicts.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to see if I can get talk to Kyle for a second. Thank you. Hey, Kyle, you want to tell me what happened?
Sure. All right, so I was told on the other side that I was not allowed to enter any area because they dictated it so.
Be real loud.
Sure. Students from the campus said I was not allowed to enter an area because they dictated it so. Well, I disagree with that, and I reject it. And so I came over here to watch because they had a very lovely piece of music and actually a really cool dance. And so I wanted to observe. And so I sat against this tree, and then I was bombarded with more students to the point where they were surrounding me, threatening me, ordering me away, telling me that I can't stand here, to the point where police officers had to get involved because more than likely it was going to edge to violence.
So now you're surrounded by, what, about 100 cops?
I haven't been able to keep account.
Yeah, there's a lot. At least several dozen. Like, look at them all the way out here.
So, what does that say for the freedom of speech when a person can't even stand somewhere, is not threatening anyone, hasn't hurt anybody, hasn't assaulted anybody, and yet suddenly
freedom of association, that's speech.
And yet suddenly I am put into a situation where I require dozens of police officers just to simply stand here.
She's distorting you.
She's what?
It's distorting your mic.
What is that?
It's a sound thing on her phone.
Okay.
She also, by the way, she's been blessing police officers and myself. She's been using. She's burning sage.
Can I ask? You haven't healed me, so you failed.
She's burning sage and doing this awkward hand movement thing.
Well, you asked me to listen to it. Can I listen to it? You want me to listen to it? Can I listen to it?
Umbrellas?
Oh. Ma'am, can I listen to it? You wanted me to listen to it, right?
This isn't a sanctioned event.
Can I listen? I just want to listen. Okay, whatever. It's so confusing. All right, well, I guess you don't want me to listen. But whatever. Thank you, Kyle.
You're not really willing to speak at the moment.
Okay, speak. Okay, we don't want to. Especially on camera, they have a publicist for it. Oh, okay.
All right, so that happened.
Also, the admin.
So yeah, she's playing weird stuff near my microphone, I guess, to try to mess it up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's this t-shirt again. Yes, sir.
What t-shirt?
You keep standing here for the fact
Oh,
that
this thing?
I was told by students who
t-shirt.
dictated that I was not
Very black.
To block himself as well as
It's like Spinal Tap.
others at times.
It's a Spinal Tap cover, not more black. Or the Metallica album, the Black album.
Publicly
In other words, the white guy that somebody said no to.
Because someone said, by order of students dictating that I cannot go somewhere, I personally reject that idea. In which case, I will stand wherever I want to because it's a federally funded and open university. Ergo, I should be able to stand against the truth as I see fit. And yet, that still requires dozens of police officers in order to protect me. If you want to say that Berkeley is a freedom of speech place, and you fought for the movement for the freedom of speech, where did that go? Where did you lose that tradition? I think it was lost the same time the United States lost its own tradition. The fact that it genuinely appreciates the foundation and the principles that the United States was built on. That of the freedom of speech, expression, and not taking your property from you. We want equality for as many people as can. We have a checkered past, don't get me wrong, and we should do everything we can to improve our situation. Every step of the way, we should absolutely try to improve ourselves. But that doesn't mean you disrupt the entire founding principles of equality, trying to actually attain the pursuit of happiness and express yourself as you see fit. Simple as that. I will not be dictated by students of an open university. Actually, this umbrella has actually been threatened to be ripped out of her hands if she touches the officer with it again. So just FYI.
That won't end well.
Yes, sir.
Don't do that.
Sure. KYLE.
Real skinhead.
B for Bravo. SS. Absolutely. You're good.
All right. Well,
I can handle someone wooing you like that.
So yeah,
like it.
weird.
I have a video. There's an officer over here. She's like, what are you doing?
I really just want water, but they block everything off. Yeah. All right. Well,
Continue the conversation. If you want to engage with
I will. I don't understand why we need to. Why we need to have it over there, but I will.
We can explain that to you over there.
Okay. I'm disappointed that we need to, but anything to continue the discussion. He doesn't want people to see him. He thinks he's going to get doxxed, and yeah, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be doxxed, and he doesn't want other people to see the bald-headed fellow with alopecia.
okay.
I think we're far enough for him to stop trying to get us to stop talking.
Everyone here wasn't moving. All we did was stand here and she pushed her.
You know what? You just got defended, so don't chat that crap.
I even stood up for you in that one. Well.
Okay, well, sorry to keep it on this one shot, but it looks like something's happening, and I'm going to go over here now. Hopefully it'll stay safe over there. Hopefully. Oh, wait, hold on. Something going on.
No, I don't want to be in your way.
You're moving closer to his genitals. That's weird. That is genuinely weird. Yeah, I actually go to the University of Washington, Seattle. I study at
Hi. Hi. How are you? All right. I'm always happy to see a man with a rainbow ring.
Yeah, look, rainbows are good. Yeah, I think the rainbow flag. You know what? I think the gays need to give it back to their children. Unicorns and flags need to give it back to kids. And Peru.
What does that mean? You're going to take off your wig and find a kid to give it to?
I will give it away. Yes.
Excellent.
I think the rainbow flag needs to give given back to Peru because they were the first country to have that flag as the indigenous people of Peru, the first people to have the rainbow flag, and they should keep it.
I like it
because Peru is a fucking awesome place.
I'm trying to figure out a word for it.
Isn't the animal of Scotland the unicorn?
I mean, unicorns aren't real, so I can't verify this. But
unicorns can be made.
Oh, well, yeah, you just chop off one and move it around.
Like trannies, like you can make a tranny, you can make a unicorn. It's fine. I love unicorns.
I wouldn't have used a tranny metaphor, but I understand what you mean.
You get a surgical fucking horn put on your head, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, and I like those people. But I think the flag, the rainbow flag, needs to be given back to the children.
No, I got
and the unicorns need to go back to the children.
This is a very weird conversation, but
no, it's just children love unicorns and they love rainbow flags, and we should take it away from the gays and put it back to the children. How did they claim that? Who claimed that?
Good question. I think
who claimed the rainbow flag?
I didn't know gays were claiming the unicorn.
They're claiming the unicorn in the rainbow flags. And we need to give it back to the children.
I thought Vermin Supreme had the unicorn.
The clowns and the fucking children need to have the flag back. And somehow now it's on the Castro on the streets. And I'm like, you know what? Give it back to the kids. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, give it back to the children.
The children.
Give it to the children.
To the children.
Right.
It's like the Twilight Zone here.
I wasn't allowed to watch it. And I wasn't needing to get in the middle of it. I didn't want to disrupt it. All I wanted to do. And because of that, they said, no, I'm not allowed to. And actually, I didn't do I try to be as but I got people with the general morning. Nobody wants to. And right here, where the Wisconsin I could watch. And I was being surrounded by multiple students and ordered to leave. I have no right to be here.
I think you need a manicure.
Just because you and I disagree politically about something, insert whatever here, it doesn't give me or you a right to bring violence to one another. We want to bring people away from the alt-right, away from the white nationalists, the white supremacists, all the ridiculous people. Same thing with the alt-left. If in a year Patriot Prayer didn't have to exist at all, because people could walk onto an open, federally funded university and go, insert view here, and people weren't threatened with violence, my day would be made. Absolutely. That's our entire intent. The fact that right now the freedom of speech is under attack because people find that it is acceptable to bring violence to one another because they simply disagree politically. And awkwardly enough, 95% of all the points we actually agree on. It's just how we get there is what we disagree. We agree with the end goal. We want to have healthcare, right? Cool. End goal's met. We want people to not be mass incarcerated for unjust crimes, right? Cool. We want to keep our people safe, right? Protect them. Cool. That's our end goal. The only thing we really disagree on is...
oh no! Somebody told a white man no! Quick, have a
The only thing you and I would ever disagree on is...
Are you a racist?
This is from the guy in the Koozies 2 chicken shit, and I think the matter accepted in disguise.
I just want to see what they're talking about. What are they talking about?
You can't tell them how to force something for them to move.
To the teacher.
Of course,
the problem is,
of course, they're free speech.
I want you to hear this from I think mass incarceration is absolutely disgusting. Everyone in the Professor asked, can someone take up the argument? Mass incarceration is a good thing, is not racist. And I said, I disagree with it, but sure, I'll try. I won the debate because they were so ill-prepared to face those opinions and those thoughts that now if they were to actually debate me in an open forum for public policy, I would have won.
Oh, you're the lady that called me a fascist.
I have my fucking toes painted fucking red. Who cares? I just want to see what they're talking about.
My advice costs more than you can afford, buddy. So I'm not going to tell you when it's ridiculous. That's the only point.
So if I walk around you, are you going to
I guess you'll find out. I'm not going to attack you, but I guess we'll find out.
Thank you.
You're going to need more hands. You're trembling. Why are you trembling? Your hands are shaking.
I'm still here, bitch.
Why are your hands shaking?
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
Hands aren't shaking.
The United States of America.
Maybe she's tired of having her hands up because people keep trying to kill everybody. No one is even dancing.
Well, she called me a fascist, a
And look
racist,
who you're standing
and a
with.
house Negro.
I didn't call you. I don't use language like that, bitch. I'll call you a fash though, and I'll call you a bitch because that's who you're standing with. But I don't
I'm standing by myself. Who am I standing with?
What's that?
Who am I standing with?
You're standing with the fash.
Who? Who?
Fuckers next to you. These guys. Come on, man. We know what you're doing, and we know the game. So, not playing.
You guys are so interesting to me. I mean, that is brutal, man.
Why are you recording her?
Oh, because she popped off of the mouth on me on YouTube. Oh, not on YouTube, on Twitter. And she doesn't think people of color should have a voice. So, yeah.
I'm standing here because people.
No, you're virtue signaling. You're virtue signaling.
Bullshit. They asked us to be here.
You're virtue signaling. No, you don't give a fuck about people of color.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
You don't. You don't.
These
You don't.
folks just asked us to be here, and that's why we're
You don't give a fuck about people of color.
And you don't bullshit. I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing.
Where are the Nazis?
You guys would know that, wouldn't you?
I'm just here.
Yeah, you're all innocent. It's all you all talk a big game on.
Where are there Nazis? Who's rounding up Jews?
I'm a motherfucker.
Who's rounding up Jews? Did you see anyone rounding up Jews? I don't see them. I don't see that. I'm filming this for my children. So fucking stupid people are.
Like anyone would breed with you.
I didn't say anything. I'm not saying. I'm glad to have any views. I'm looking for the Nazis. Where are the Nazis? Do you see Nazis? Where are the Nazis? Who's rounding up Jews? Do you see that? I don't see that. This is fucking insane. People are stupid.
I mean, the only one doing the Nazi salute right now is...
You are doing Nazi salute.
Just saying.
You're troubling.
Just saying. It's the only Nazi salute I see today. You're still trembling.
I this to my children who are fucking 10 years old to say how fucking stupid people are to protest free speech. Yes, you should. Put me on fucking air. I'm an ass? I believe in the Constitution. I'm an asshole.
You wouldn't know the Constitution if it bit you.
I've got it fucking right here in my pocket.
Literally.
Here it is. Here's the Constitution. Here it is. Want to read it? You fucking dumb fucking retard.
Oh, ableism now.
Yeah, you're stupid. It's okay. It's not illegal to be stupid. It's not illegal to be stupid. Is it illegal to be stupid?
I'm just interested in the Nazi salute that she keeps doing.
A Nazi salute, yes. Where are the Nazis? Where's the fucking... Oh yeah, I fucking have swastikas on my face. I'm a clown because these people are dumb and they're fucking misguided youth. And I'm recording this for my children so they don't ever fucking come to this stupid university with these fucking retards. Where are the Nazis? Where are the Nazis? Where are the Nazis? Nazis are not here. Where are they? Where are they?
Fucking here! Right here! Right here! Right here!
I'm a Nazi. Oh yeah. Where are the Nazis? You fucking retard.
Yes.
Where are the Nazis?
Yes.
Where are
yes.
the Nazis?
Yes.
I'm not here. Where are the Nazis? I want to see them. Where are the Nazis? Where's the KKK? Where's the KKK? Where are the KKK? Where are they? Where are they? I don't see them. Where is the KKK? Where are the Nazis? Where are they? I was 20 years ago. I was just sitting here. And you know what? There are no Nazis here. There are no Nazis here now. Where the fuck are they? Where are the Nazis? Where are the Nazis? Where are the Nazis? I don't see any Nazis here. I don't see any Nazis. Where are the Nazis? Where are they? You people are stupid! You're dumb! Where are the Nazis? They're not here! Where are the Nazis? Where are they? Nazis are bad! Nazis bad! Nazis are bad! Nazis Nazis are bad. Nazis are bad. We're bad Nazis. We're Nazis die. Nazis die. Nazis are bad. Nazis die. Nazis are bad. No Nazis. No Nazis bad. Bad. Okay, so why are you screaming at me? Nazis die. Nazis die. No Nazis. No Nazis. No, direct Nazis. No to Nazis. There's no Nazis here. There's no Nazis here. Fucking grow up. Grow up. No Nazis. No Nazis. Maybe one Nazi here. No, direct Nazis. Nobody knows. There's no Nazis here. You're no Nazis. You're no fucking piece of shit.
If you want simple discourse, you're free to use that more.
Where are they? Where are the Nazis? Come here. We will kill you. Okay? We agree on that? Can we agree on the Nazis? I want to say Nazis are bad. Nazis are bad. Nazis are bad. Yes!
Hundreds of rallies, and the only rallies where they do this is Trump rallies. They're acting like
I went to college here 20 years ago.
I'm talking to
Where are the Nazis? What are you protesting? What are you protesting? What are you doing? Why are you studying science? Why are you studying math and science?
Oh boy. Somebody needs to grab the clown.
Science. Why are you studying math and science? And history. I am just speaking. I know Nazis here. You're fucking crazy. Nazis here. Grow up. Children. Grow up. Fucking children. We live in America. Go study English and math.
Young lady.
It's hard. Go study something and do something and go to work. Go study English and math and science. It's fucking hard. Go study something and do something and go to work.
Could be.
People are laughing at you on the internet. I'm a nobody. I'm fucking nobody. I don't care. Yeah, we agree on that. Yes. This is funny. This is funny. This is funny. I want to be a comedian.
And I don't know that nigga.
Okay.
I don't know that nigga. He on some shit. So, just want to clarify. Don't love black people. So, y'all turn up like this, I was happy as fuck.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Clarify that.
They were celebrating Black Pride. That's all they were doing. And you decided to come over here because it upset you.
Fantastic. Black people.
I don't get it. Why?
Yes, Black Pride is fucking awesome.
We're going to keep walking.
Black
I
people,
get it.
Black people should run the country. That's what I think. Black people should run the country.
My 7-year-old niece.
They have the best food, the best music, and the best personalities of anyone I fucking know. Right? Black people should run this country. Black people, the best fucking black people need to run the country. Black people are smart and they're fucking black people are strong and they're fucking black people.
Oh, go, no! No!
Black people are smart and The biggest black people. Look at the NFL. Who's the NFL? Black people. They're strong and they're fucking big. They need to run the country.
Go over here for a moment. You're saying black people should run the earth. We're the strongest people in the country. I'm like, it's not wrong, but it's coming out wrong from his voice. It doesn't sound right. Do you guys want me to stay with this?
What the fuck? It's a fact.
Yeah, this is Berkeley campus.
It's a fact.
I mean, I can stay with this, but it's kind of fizzling out.
The black people are the
really...
fucking strongest people on the planet.
Everyone's kind of leaving now.
Okay, well, look at the NFL. It's fucking 90% black people.
So what's the population of the NFL?
I don't know. I don't know.
So you're talking about a very, very minute amount. Statistically, that is useless. That is a horrible argument. If you're actually going to engage in argument, be useful.
Black people are typically superior to everyone else.
And Asians have a higher IQ. What's your point?
My point is that black people should be running for police force.
Oh man, that was weird. So
I think they should have the freedom of choice and to be able to go into any profession they choose.
It was weird.
But so why are you restricting them to being enforcers? They're not your hired.
They should be enforcers. They should be enforcers.
They're not your hired fucking muscle. Go fucking get someone else.
He was like, you know,
arrest someone than a fucking small Asian person.
Said,
do you think she has a right to be a police officer?
Yes, she does.
So what's wrong with her?
You guys should run the country. That's why you're all athletes. I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, oh shit, man.
Someone who's
oh,
willing to
hell
protect
no.
me in case of an emergency.
Yes.
The only thing I think that should disqualify you is if you can't do the job. If I'm injured and you can't carry me or drag me,
people are like, why are you on that side? Like, I don't know that nigga.
On the other hand, do they have a better ability? I'm a United States Marine. I have met women who can do the job in the infantry again. I was in the United States Marine infantrymen. I have met men who are shit compared to some of the women.
Whoever can do the job.
Your ideology based on this general assumption.
Whoever can do the job. Whoever can do the job.
Although I will encourage him to do anything.
Whoever can do the job is the best fit for that job.
But it
doesn't matter the color of your skin.
No, this man is one of the most articulate Samoans I've ever fucking met.
Oh, Samoans, look at him. He can kick our asses.
And
he will kick our asses. He will kick our ass.
When he and I
will kick our fucking ass right now.
No, get this. When he and I first met, how did I ever get your respect? I stood up to this man.
You kicked his ass.
No, I stood up to him. I'm like, I'm not going to let you do this. And he's like, move. I'm like, I am making a very bad decision right now. And he respected that. He's an incredibly intelligent, articulate man, and for you to actually dictate him to be only in a single goal, a single occupation or vocation.
I'm not the president. But I think people who are strong and tall and strong and big, they should be fucking the police.
I want the willing. I want the willing and able.
If you're a small, little, tiny person, and you have pepper spray and a little tiny gun,
I want the people that understand the law.
Actually, sir, you're right. No, hang on.
I know. I'm just saying you can kick
Hey, Tiny, hang on. So actually, amazingly enough, if he shoots me with a 9mm and she shoots me with a 9mm, I'm equally dead.
Yes.
So your argument is rather useless again. You're really bad at argumentation.
We should not be shooting people with guns. We should be
grappling them
and putting them to the ground and putting them in the court.
You're right. How about this?
No fucking killing people. No shooting.
Actually, you're right. You take him on and completely unarmed. It's equal, right?
No.
No.
Kick my ass.
What about her and him? She doesn't stand a chance, but if she shoots him, he's down. This is the great equalizer. Okay? This is the great equalizer. There should be guns because if he were on a rampage against me, I'd fucking lose.
Yes, you would.
What is the great equalizer?
It's a medical condition.
And tasers don't always work. I've been hit by a taser and it didn't work. I've been peppered. He and I have been. Kyle Chapman, myself, and Tiny have all been pepper sprayed, and we've all had to fight through it. No, it's not, but we've all been able to fight through it. If honestly, if I had to face against, if she had to face against someone like him, and she pepper sprayed him, oh no, she's still more than likely going to lose. I would prefer her to protect herself and the safety so she can go home to her family with a firearm and take out a threat to society.
The Second Amendment, yes.
That's just common sense and principled argument.
I'm not saying anything against that.
So why should we disarm the police?
I never said that.
That's what you're good. That's why you're a bad arguer.
It doesn't matter. You think the police should be strong people who can dominate other people who are weak. If someone is fucking breaking the law, the police need to go intervene and say, you're breaking the law, and you go fucking to jail.
You know, it's the Supreme Court that actually says it's not the police's responsibility to protect you. It is your responsibility to protect you.
It's the local, for example. And
it also gives the individual the ability to potentially protect themselves, even at the life of the officer, if it is an unjust arrest.
It's local. Okay? People don't like the police, right? The Kaepernick is protesting the police. Okay.
I like this. They're good people.
Okay.
They go home.
They're protesting the wrong thing. The federal government is not the police. Okay. The federal government is the FBI. Okay. So if you're going to protest the national anthem, you should. If you're anti-government, you're anti-government. If you want to, no, I'm not either.
Are you an anarchist then?
No, I'm not. I'm saying, if you were going to protest the flag, you should protest your local police department, and not protest on a national front of fucking people who respect the flag.
I personally think since they're in a private industry, they can protest whatever the hell they want. Kim Davis, on the other hand, I think should be fired because after the Supreme Court ruling that gay marriage was absolutely legal, she stopped it, and she should have been fired because she's a public employee. On the other hand, these are private individuals. They can kneel for all the fuck they want. They can literally swing, like, I think it would go against their codes of conduct and policy. They can swing their dick around for all I know. I don't care. They're private. They do what they want. Protest how you want. It's not my business. Although I think it would be rather uncouth for them to do so. But again, every individual is allowed to vote with their wallet. Don't watch the game if you don't like it.
No, what am I saying? That's my point.
Maximum freedom.
Why do we have police officers? Why are crazy, right? Maximum freedom.
Why do we need police officers? Because multiple people here threaten lives.
Why would you 25 police officers surrounding us? We're having a conversation. What the fuck is wrong with this country? It's retarded. A little bit retarded. Better arguments from my side.
Job, but they're here protesting on a Wednesday.
There you go again with your people.
My mom was a private cop, so it's like, yeah, she can do the fucking job. She's
Look
been
at
a
the
better
dollar.
gentlemen.
You want to help Mexico?
Pleasure.
Go to Mexico.
Rolling
over there.
Nice job, boy. Isn't America the land of opportunity? I'm just quoting your country's for America and we the people and all that.
And we're here at UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, where the Free Speech Week has been taking place.
Because we made a mistake. There's certain people
which has
because you are a belligerent.
looks like mostly peacefully. This was this guy right here in the front.
That's a good campus. Let's take a look at
man behind him.
No, you had him as a captain. That's what you do.
Kyle, I don't know if I looks like everything has pretty much died out here. So
come out. Yeah, so I can't. The other one you can compare.
Look around here.
To love people, to be a good person.
Yeah. Don't coach him. This is funny.
Sorry, guys, had to pull from it.
Marcel was. What are you talking about? Keep him right. All right. Well, yep. That's it.
Man, I got cold water. Oh, you got one too. Good.
Are you guys leaving right now? $11, dude.
Find that freedom to come and have your own individual thoughts and your own types of ideas and your own types of beliefs without having to be judged and ostracized by your culture. So I really hope and I wish you the best.
In fairness, why are you upset that he has his own individual thought?
I am a Muslim. I don't represent every other Muslim in the world, just like your father doesn't represent every other Mexican in the world. You are your own person and you create your own path and your own choices.
He represents him.
And so that's why I'm saying I really hope that you're able to find that liberation and that freedom without being forced into thinking certain things. I really hope you're able to find that freedom.
If we agree on some things, you won't judge.
That's your life. I'm not here. I'm here to educate and to teach you the truth.
So you're not as
but you want him to think like you.
No.
You're saying that he should have his own individual, and you disagreed with him.
Him my thoughts. He's disagreeing with me too.
But you see.
But I'm having a conversation. I'm telling you, here are my thoughts, and he's saying, here are my thoughts. I'm saying, I don't agree with you, and he's saying, I don't agree with you. And then what? Okay, he can walk.
You seem to be admonishing him for his belief system, or just like his opinions, or
I'm just quoting American dreams and the American, I don't know what.
Well, not putting words in your mouth. In so many words, you're saying he's wrong, and yet you're telling his son, I hope you have your own thoughts and ideas, yet you're saying that this guy shouldn't have his opinions.
He can have his opinions, just like I can have mine, but I'm saying that I hope he doesn't get influenced by his own father's opinions and he can have his own opinions.
But that's just... Okay. I'm just curious. Who influences your opinions?
Myself.
Did your parents raise you a certain way?
No.
Did your educators throughout your life influence you a certain way?
Yeah, of course, people do influence other people.
Well, I mean, that's kind of...
If he wants to be
You're
influenced by his
indulgent.
father,
It's about personal indulgence.
If he wants to follow what his father does, that's his choice. I'm saying I hope he can find the liberation to do what he wants to, and if what he wants to is to follow his father.
But like I said, your educators moved you in a certain path.
Okay.
That you, and so, you know, maybe this is a bad term, but like in some ways you were indoctrinated by the teachings and your life experiences.
No, I learned the history of the world and I learned the history of what America is.
So you have successfully emancipated from everything. You have created your own autonomy, and then
when did I say that?
You just saying that.
I'm saying I learned truth and facts, and then I made my own decision based on those.
You know that the illusion of knowledge is really the most dangerous one.
The what?
The illusion of knowledge.
The illusion of knowledge.
Yes.
You think you know more about my son? You try.
I don't know anything about your son. I literally had a 2-minute conversation
but
with
you hope that he does not follow my.
I said I hope he finds the liberation to find his own ideas
From
and
me.
thoughts that aren't influenced by you, and if they are, they're his own thoughts that he agrees.
That's
with
the man's father.
Okay, and
I mean, parents are
My
supposed
father
to
said
instill some level of like, you know,
I think you're using
thought and idea onto their children.
okay, thank you for your wrong opinion.
Oh come on! Oh man! Wow! Ouch!
Leave my son alone!
Leave my son alone!
What this is her son? Oh, that's another one over there. Let's go. I think that's enough. Okay, you guys almost got cheated.
I know she couldn't have done that shit with me if she wanted to try to tell me about the history of black people. Like that'd have been a very short conversation. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
That's okay.
She's just mad because, like, you know, you refuse to be a victim. Yeah. That's what she's mad about.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been listening to her all day. She's very angry, you know, and she wants to, like, you could just see the tone and her body language. She's angry. And she's mad that you're not angry, too. We happy. We high-fiving and cabbage patching and stuff. She doesn't want us to be happy.
You love money. You love money.
Money, 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 money.
I love God so much, his is the only opinion I care about.
Money. Money, 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 money. Money. Money.
You guys going home? Yeah. I have a story to tell you. I'll remember to tell you a story.
I'll talk to you.
There, these psychopaths outguns.
Hard and all that, but
I can come up. Well, I can't tell for sure.
Rob, hurry up!
Oh my God.
Hey, go take your medicine, bro. Go take your medicine.
We good. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. All you did.
Rob, let's go.
Wrap it up.
Free speeches, it's always the peanut gallery that wants to talk shit from the back.
I know. Man, you see the love? I mean, they were doing that.
yeah, they're getting down, right?
You gotta love that shit, right?
Yeah.
Filming Nazis.
It's fine, there's nothing to dox. We put all of this stuff there. Yeah. Right in my shoe. Like sharing my cigarette.
Hello? Hey.
Where's Hansel?
I'm not going to be in town till tomorrow. What's up? Sorry, my bad. Do we know where we're going?
There's a place called the Smokehouse.
Few blocks?
Down that way.
Mile?
Yeah. So let's see. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to ride out there, or you guys have your rides, or
I don't know.
I saw that. I saw what you did.
Happy's or locals? There's Happy's.
It's like, where's the closest place we can get a burger?
We're over there.
What? Happy's has an outdoor
Are you
seating.
guys staying in there?
Okay, yeah. You know what? That's yeah.
Hey, Gabe, let me call you back in like 2 minutes, okay? I'll call you right back.
How that means that like black couples don't get married. Brother. What? Can you show me the connection between the scars? No, I have. Honestly, you don't know me. Please stop telling me what I've done. You don't know me.
You would know.
No,
You just said you don't understand
Listen, yeah.
how those scars of being treated as property
Yeah.
and sharecropping in Jim Crow 150 years ago. How long was that? How long do societies change in 150 years?
A lot.
A lot?
Oh, hugely.
Okay, so you said slavery ended and we were free. Is that what you think? So you don't know about
Would
black
you like me to
codes?
tell you?
You don't know about
Would
the
you like
Jim
me to tell you
Crow?
what I think?
What do you think?
Why are you
Because
being adversarial?
we weren't even
I'm
we
trying
weren't
to
even
tell you.
allowed in white spaces
Yeah, I
until
know.
60 years ago.
Yeah, I know, it's
but
terrible.
but before
My
that,
grandfather's
60
black,
years.
remember?
That's not
My
150
grandfather's
years.
black.
That's 60
Yeah,
years.
okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Look, I'm not.
Okay, you keep saying your grandfather is black as
Yeah.
if that means you have some analysis on black communities. That
No,
doesn't make any sense.
my dad
and
was
half of my
black in a
family's
white
fucking has
community.
white in them. Doesn't mean I get to talk around on go around what it means to be a white person in America.
Yeah,
but you haven't tried, and you're lying to yourself. You know you haven't, because you just said 150 years. A lot
you
can
brought
change
up
in 150
slavery,
years.
and it can a lot.
Okay, but from slavery, we went to sharecropping, we went to black
Sure,
codes,
okay.
we went to Jim Crow, we
Okay.
went to segregation. We haven't
Okay.
had the opportunity to heal ourselves.
Okay, I totally agree.
And those scars implement how we relate to each other.
And now
that family
okay,
dynamic.
I believe you. Right? And now I want you to explain to me just how that makes it difficult for black men and women to get married. That's all I want to know.
Did I not just do that?
But no. Why does that do that? Why? Tell me, because I don't understand. Like please explain.
I gave you the tools to now go home and to do this on your own.
So what are you guys doing here?
I'm trying to learn.
No. Why are you here right now?
To learn about this.
You're here to learn?
Yes.
What have you learned so far?
A woman to teach.
I've learned that there seems to be a lot of excuses being.
What did you come here with knowledge of?
Nothing. I'm trying to learn about
You came
why
here
this is
knowing
happening. Well, not about this particularly.
Put your clothes on for you.
Okay. My mum. Would you like some ear?
Here's a put.
Who?
My mum. Would you like some ear?
Your mom?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Well, then, why don't you just show some respect? Why are you acting like this?
Acting like what?
I'm
Asking
here.
you questions.
Well,
Asking
listen,
you
look at his
questions.
attitude.
Do you feel like
You're
he's bothering you or
demanding
what?
that I now give
It
you an
looks like
entire
he's bothering
history
you.
on the
Well, look, I'm trying to
situation.
understand why
But
black
I gave
people
you
are
the
getting married.
tools.
That's what I'm trying
I
to
gave you the
I
tools to
thought
now
you said you were a
look this
black
up
man.
yourself.
Did you not say
No,
you were
my
a black man?
grandfather's black.
This is
His
grandfather's
grandfather's
African
black.
American.
My father's half black. Is there anything else you'd like to know about my genealogy, or can I get a question now? What about your race? What's your interest in? Tell me about you.
What about
Exactly,
my
I don't want to
ethnicity?
know about you. So, why aren't black people getting married? That's all I want to know. What about the impression
What if I
is
told you I was a
preventing them
black
from
man? Did
getting
you wanna
married?
know that?
No.
Would you
What
wanna know
about?
that?
You wanna
Okay,
know why he's
why
not
aren't black men marrying black women?
Maybe I want to
I'm not
marry
saying
a
that
white
they're
woman.
Why don't you answer my
not.
question?
I'm not saying they're not marrying black women.
but they actually
I'm
are.
just saying that the black
Set them up for a
woman.
meme right there.
Huh?
You gotta be careful with it. Maybe I want to wear a white woman. It's like,
Why? Why should I be careful with that?
no, I'm saying
okay,
because
so
it could be
there's
taken as
scars,
a
right?
meme.
I
That could
totally,
be
and
created in a
this is what I'm saying.
place
Like my
over
family.
and over.
Fucking bullshit is about.
Yeah, but I
But
just,
that's-
I don't
You're
see the
demanding
link.
that I sit here and I provide you with information as if you were incapable of going and doing it yourself.
how should I find
gave
that
you
out?
the tools
What
to now go and try to
objective
understand
evidence do you have of
the condition of the degradation of the black
What is
family
that?
unit
Right.
on
I agree.
through white
Lower?
supremacy.
Sure, how much?
I agree.
So
White
you can go
supremacy-
and do that because
How
this
much
is
is much?
traumatic, it's exhaustive, and I have class today. And you are demanding that that I now teach you. When you have, we are in the age of information. You have access to a plethora of resources. What?
I can't Google what's in your head.
It's not in my head. It's real. The fact that you are unaware of that shows that you haven't tried. You haven't tried. I gave you my opinion.
Yeah, but
I told you it's issues of internalized oppression, and that now you should go do that work yourself. The fact that you're demanding that I do that work for you just shows you're a piece of entitlement in this conversation. Why don't you put in the work for you? Why do I have to put in the work for you?
I can't give you your opinion. You're counting shit up.
Would you like some water? You are the sweetest thing in the world. She just went and got you that water because she saw you talking.
So what's the problem in the white community? How do you get rid of this sense of superiority white people have? If they think they can come into another community and tell them how to fucking live.
I'd give her $20 for that water.
Yeah, me too.
Well, what did you think of all that?
It was okay when we were giving that same assistance to white people.
They're blaming the fact that
Thinks excuses to this.
Oh, you were
the one that was talking about the 1980s.
All right.
black people now rely on
Oh, was him?
welfare, not each
Would
other,
you
and
agree with
that's
that statement?
why,
I do agree with that statement. Would you agree with that statement? Well, what was the big fundamental shift between who was accepting it in the 1980s and who was saying it before?
Well, according to him, it's...
According to him. I'm not talking to fucking him. I'm talking to you.
Okay, well,
And I think that's the important dialogue. I think that's the point where I don't want to jump away from, because instead of going down any other rabbit holes, I think
what were the rates
there's an
before?
inarguable.
If you know what's fucking rising, what was it before?
I know this. At one time,
For me, I don't know the statistics. I don't know the statistics for like planet Earth, but like I know in Oakland right now we're having a big issue where it's young black men that are killing everyone by the numbers. And
72 to 78%.
So the demographics. I live in Oakland, so I know our demographics there. And it's
What the fuck is fatherlessness? Because people aren't getting married? Is that how you're defining it?
5% black, and then a mixture.
Are
of
you
everyone else
defining
in
it
the other
strictly
corners.
as
Right
somebody
now,
getting married to another person?
Young black men are both the biggest recipient and perpetrator of
How do you
murders
know
right
that?
now.
So what are the rates in white community?
It's young black men specifically. Like,
And lowering that by how
young
much?
Black men specifically. There's
You
a
don't
huge
fucking know.
cultural issue where
So you came to this fucking fight not knowing.
Well, I know this, Obama.
You came here to talk some shit about some stuff you don't know.
I'm not concerned about the white community because the white community is not having a problem with
Well, I'm concerned about the white community.
Okay, well, I'm concerned about the
Because there isn't a problem about incarceration. You motherfucking community ripped off this goddamn country, and nobody went to fucking prison for it. Yeah.
Now in this country exists. We tell each other we're not shit, and we don't deserve.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like 2008, bro. Wasn't that far long ago. So you can't even remember 2008. You want to talk history?
That's about a specific history.
You've been fasting?
It has a lot to do with those relations.
But you could probably use a little bit more fasting.
Other black men in other parts of the
My
world.
Kenyan buddy.
I ain't trying to make myself look good about something. I ain't trying to put lipstick on a fucking pig.
I'm trying to fast for like spiritual clarity.
Spiritual clarity?
That's the our history that was never.
It helps you? What spirit is that?
We never healed.
What Holy Spirit?
We're honest about it. We never
Believe in God?
what really happened. in our
God, the one that sent you out here without any goddamn numbers?
The direct
Well,
action, even
not
from
the
young
numbers
men.
are moving from because I'm on a different
And
side.
that's where we started this
Yeah,
conversation.
you came here you came here with the express intent to antagonize people, and you didn't come here with the intent of defending your fucking self. Why don't you need to defend yourself?
There's a devaluation of life, and I'm not sure.
Really?
How much of that
I
is
think your
weighted
whole
not just
demeanor
in
tells me you're
history,
worried about
but
attacks.
within our current culture as well.
The whole purpose of your argument tells me you're afraid of fucking attacks. Or if you weren't, then you would. If you were not afraid of attacks, you'd come here with that information I just asked you about. You would know about your own goddamn house before you come pointing out another one. Guess what? That's in your fucking Bible too.
I know that it's lower.
Running the prison system.
So when it says first get the plank out of
You know
your
what?
own eye,
You're lower than me.
when it says get the plank
By how
out,
much?
when it says get the plank out of your eye and then you get the speck out of your brother's, I don't have a plank in my eye. If somebody has a higher percentage of
You
fatherless,
got a fucking train rail in your eye.
okay. If I got a train rail in my eye, then the African American woman has got like a highway in its eye, all right? Because the incarceration rates are going through the roof, and I feel for those people.
Because they have knives.
Because they have
We had
knives
sticks,
and
we'd be killing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But these young men, they come from mostly broken homes. They don't have any moral consideration for each other, and they kill each other in gang wars.
else. The same happens here, the same happens in England, the same happens in Puerto Rico or South America or wherever. I think it's a young man problem, and I think young men need their fathers. So I think the question is, how do we get families back together? And that's the real conversation that has to happen, because then you won't, I mean, it's probably too late for these guys to really...
Well, and I think we're hitting the nail on the head.
Okay.
I think you guys are really close. You're really close to common ground, because at the same time that you're talking about wanting to fight for bringing families together and having families stay intact, you're also bringing up a disproportionate amount of young black men who don't view young black women in a positive light. Like, and that's running
any other group
more than any other group. And at the same time, you have that same group having an issue with the prison population and with fatherlessness.
Because I don't think it's the system is
so maybe all of these concepts are circling around each other in a way that we can find good common ground here. Is that you're referencing something that's really painful. That all these families are broken, regardless of color of our skin. We have an issue with.
I've got cousins who are in a very similar position. I've got a cousin who's in and out of jail all his life. He's always been in delinquent institutions. I mean, you know, he's got his missing teeth. You know, the kind of lovely guy, but he keeps getting himself in fucking trouble, and it's his upbringing that's done that. And it's, I think, if he had a better father, so how do you make people stay together? And if it's internalized hatred of black women that you think the black men have, I mean, what can be done about that? You know, why, what are they saying about women?
And I'm grateful to have her express that concept, that you feel that young black men have a very specific reaction to young black women. Like, that's something that I would have no idea about, not being a young black woman. Like, I'm not going to pick up on that perception at all.
I know what it's like.
Exactly. So sharing that is really indicative to a basic element of that problem that we're talking about. Which is a good thing to hear from you.
The common issues that black women have to deal with within their own communities, those stereotypes, we know where they're originating in. They're originating in areas where there was not just slavery, but like soon after that. The fact that we became domestic servants in white people's homes, and then we started, like black women, you could only have.
I know the stereotypes.
Those are originating, so they're still perpetuating. We have never been able to address that as a society, as a community. That's my problem.
From the grocery store, don't even think about the fact that there's like a history there.
Exactly, and we have lost that consciousness, that historical narrative. It's been switched and fucked up, and this is what we're seeing because of it. We have no true concept of what really happened, and until we can hatch that out, until we can be honest about our real fucking history, and until blacks are allowed to have some sort of healing communities within their own and be able to do that outside of government influence, and constantly because people will talk about the Black Panthers, and there was a period of time in Oakland that it was great for the black community, especially in the 70s.
The Panthers in the 70s did a lot of good
things. And they
things.
were not about hatred. They were about protecting each other, and now having schools, because they wouldn't teach our real history in schools. That, hey, let's teach each other our history. Let's teach each other. Let's have school programs for each other. You know what happened? They were murdered. They went and locked them up, and they destroyed that movement. Anytime we've tried to rise up and heal each other, we've been destroyed by the government. So we cannot have that. We won't heal. This won't get better until we are allowed to have some sort of autonomy in our own communities, in terms of, can we speak about what's going on between black men and black women? Can we speak about these things? But every time we have a national movement to do this, it gets fucked up.
Maybe it should just be local.
It is, and that's what,
local community involvement.
Yeah, that's the group. That's the work I'm doing, because obviously you have to act on a local basis before you move to a national basis. And Oakland tried to do that, and then fucking as that was destabilized, then crack moved in, shifted the whole fucking society of Oakland.
Yeah,
it changed it.
Crack hurt Oakland a lot.
Oh fuck yeah. And the origins of that are pretty fucking sketchy.
There are some sketchy. There's some sketchy tales back there. I think we have similar issues in a lot of communities.
Yeah, because look at the heroin and meth epidemic right now.
It's
crazy.
The crack and the cocaine.
And like fucking Gary Webb of San Jose Mercury News and the Dark Alliance series, he cracked open some really interesting shit, and you know what? He killed himself with 2 gunshots to the head after it was released. That shit was real though. Yeah, he killed suicide. I don't want to fuck with him.
With two
I'm just
shots.
saying, the whole war on drugs epidemic has devastated communities, but it's also created an incentive for cops to have like civil forfeiture to now like, and then when you don't have someone in your family who can take care of you when your mom is on drugs, or your mom is not in the picture, your father's not in the picture, and you have no positive role influences, and you're gonna sell drugs.
Yeah, sure.
You're gonna do it. You
what
have
else
nothing
are you gonna
to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I think that selling drugs, regardless of race and community,
Yeah.
I think is something indicative of the problem that you expressed of fatherlessness.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where I was going with it.
In all
That's
aspects
exactly
of
where I was
society,
going.
but cops particularly target the poor drug dealers, and it gets them more.
It's always the poor. The cops are basically class conflict.
Class traitors.
No, almost.
As an occupation,
I don't want to say traitors, but you know what? It's not a million miles away, dude. That's a really. But,
a little bit.
But I feel you on that one. I really do. You know. But the thing is, like, if it's in the young men's minds, then someone's got to show them a better way, and usually it's their fathers that show them a better way. And if they don't have their fathers around, how can that happen? It becomes a vicious cycle that they get trapped in, and so we come to the difficult part of so the families have got to get back together. There's no other question.
And I think that it sounds like we're all pushing towards that same concept of if part of the goal of having a better society is having families come together and stay together, specifically with children involved, then and you're referencing that that's specifically an issue within the black community is black. Or you're saying for black guys?
Yeah, it has to do
women.
with like their relationship, the way they deal with each other. A lot of it's rooted in how we were treated and not what we decided for ourselves. Like our historical traditions on the family are rooted in oppression and dehumanization, whereas some people don't have that same history. They can trace back their traditions in their family that are rooted in they got to decide, or rooted in like things like feudalism. That's fucking crazy. But us, for example, this particular demographic in this particular country, our history was decided for us, and then now that we have to deal with that history, we're not even getting the real actual history. This is what has to do with the prison school pie that you were talking about, like if that exists, because we're not have the ability to we're uninterested. And the way our public funding for schools is designed is insane anyways.
I guess I would be inclined.
It's based on neighborhood taxes. It's
Yeah.
That's insane.
I agree.
You're putting it in a poor school. Of course, they're not gonna have the resources.
But economics in school departments, I think, doesn't solve a family crisis.
That's right.
But it has
more on the individual level. You know?
Yeah, and
like
I think this is a valuable concept for us to move forward in. Is so if taking into account everything you just said about that history of oppression affecting how we're dealing with each other within different communities. Then what, now that we're here, besides just being aware and educating ourselves of these histories, like what do we do now to incentivize families as a whole to stay together, but specifically this issue that we're seeing that you referenced
There's a woman
with black men and black women. You said you see a disconnect there, and I'm thinking, what do we do within that community? Like I know within where I grew up,
we have different theories as to what's the root cause of this. You say it's a history of oppression. We think it may be the breakup of families.
Well, no, I think what we're talking about is,
and I believe
we're
the
talking
breakup
about
of
taking
families.
both of those things.
I believe the breakup of families happen
them.
because of social welfare programs.
Yeah, that's your own personal belief.
That's my theory.
So let's say that these are two pieces. You're right, it's a theory.
Let's say that this is the cheese and bologna of the sandwich, right?
Yeah, no, I think
that's just a symptom of the issue.
It's a symptom of the issue.
Looking at the root cause.
So if it's a cheese, if that's the cheese and that's the bologna of the sandwich.
Families is the most important thing that we need to do in order to
But
help
you also
the community.
said that in 1930s, black families were intact.
They were higher, 12%
fine.
fatherless.
What's up? They weren't committing. They weren't gangs like there are now. So.
But I think I guess what
in the 1930s there weren't gangs like there are now. So what kind of argument?
This is unprecedented. This is an unprecedented situation. In this, when was the Great Society brought in again? What was the year?
Sorry, what?
The welfare state in this country.
60, late 60s.
Yeah,
if your argument is that we're killing each other, yes. My argument is why we're killing each other is internalized oppression. Is historical, and you're like
fatherlessness.
And you're saying it's fatherlessness. That
because
it's
boys
a
don't learn
symptom.
to
People are
control
not fatherless because
themselves
they're black.
Dad role model.
They're not fatherless because they're black.
Because they're black. They're not like, oh fuck,
yeah,
I'm a father.
You're talking about symptoms.
Like, why are they
young men
gone?
need
Why
fathers as role models.
are black men not? Why are black men gone from our community?
That's a great question. That's what we're trying to find out. Why do you think?
I mean,
Why do you think?
Because of structural reason, but I don't want to get into this conversation because I have shit to do.
Oh,
but like,
yeah, no worries. Wait,
but there's definitely a lot of reasons, and you can Google is free, you know.
Well, I've been doing
and
that
like,
a lot.
There's a lot of different like things that will tell you.
People's heads, though. That's the
I
problem.
know, but people have like
this seems like a way of, like,
online that
not,
will tell you
know,
what is in their heads.
Well, I've checked.
I
but
mean,
I'm
you
not,
should like check a
they're
little
never
harder.
answering the questions I'm trying to ask.
What are your questions specifically?
Okay. I mean, like, so she got to a point where she was saying how young black men have this stereotype about young black women in their heads, and they don't like the stereotype, so they don't marry young black women. Do you guys agree?
Well, I don't know.
Not all young black men.
No. I know. We're talking generally, but obviously, it's not everyone. But there's a significant number, right? And so. Why do they have that stereotype? So is it? And I know this is going to be a rough question, but what's the stereotype? What do you think the stereotype they have? If we take into account
that black men, black women.
there's a very.
Do you not want it on you?
That's fine. Just what, sorry, go on, please.
Yeah, I don't.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to be filmed too.
It's talked about that like black men see black women as being having attitude, especially there are women that are.
All right, I'm not doing
it. They don't want to deal with that or deal with that because we have a certain attitude or anything like that. We're not agreeable. We're not going to just like
one of them is the theory of Ideological.
They don't want to deal with that, so they go to letter skins or like other.
Studied post-traumatic.
Okay, I have a follow-up question, and you're not going to like it, and I don't mean it in a nasty way. Do you think there might be some truth to it?
I mean, there's truth. Like, okay, where do stereotypes come from?
It's what
They
people
come
do,
from,
right?
But does that mean that all people are like that? Does that mean
No,
that...
not at all. No,
Exactly,
it doesn't. You're
exactly.
right.
So
It
the point is,
doesn't.
there's like those
But
are just stereotypes.
do you guys think that there might be a significant number of black women who fit the stereotype?
But here's the thing. I just don't understand like why.
I agree that on an individual basis you should judge individuals.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you guys don't seem like the bad stereotype of black women to me. You seem really nice. So I would never suggest you fit into it. But do you think you've seen other?
I mean, I get angry and I get attitude for dealing with this type of shit right
I
here.
can imagine.
So like,
There's a reason why people are angry.
if you
Sure. I'm not saying.
I'm pretty
Sure.
like a cycle,
Yeah.
cycle sort of thing. So there's stereotypes, dramatic stereotypes,
Yeah.
we're not playing that against each other. Okay, circle.
But do you think that there's a number of black women who fit the stereotype?
Do you think that there's a disconnect between the number of black women?
You're not a black woman, so I'm afraid I don't actually.
No, but I'm
I
can speak on media representation.
I know.
He's talking about the media.
I'm trying to ask this young lady her opinion, and you jumped in. Mansplaining and whitesplaining?
I don't know about that. I don't think he's just automatic.
I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to honestly know.
But I also I think that there are. Yes, there's black women who are angry and have attitudes, but there's Latino women.
Yeah, definitely. It's not unique. Not unique. Okay, and do you think it's a fairly large number of black women like that, or a small number?
Okay, I don't understand the point of this, the relevancy.
I know, but I do. That's why I'm asking.
I guess I'm asking what's the relevance.
I can explain it afterwards if you like.
So
we're looking at all these. No, I promise I will. I promise I will. I'm not going anywhere. I promise.
This is my friend, and I just want to make sure that she's good.
Oh, of
So I
course.
will be here, and I will talk to you.
I'm trying to be as polite as I can be. And I'm from England, so
when I
hope
want to
we've
have this
got good manners.
conversation, I'll get into it.
Yeah. Honestly, but do you think it's a large number of black women that are like that, or from your personal experience?
No, from what I see and what the media sees is different. I think what I see intelligent black women all around me. And
but do you think like in the hood maybe?
You're not coming
like whoa.
Being honest. Let's be real here, you know. Are there a number of black women like that?
That are like what?
The stereotype
that
these guys have in their
homes.
It's nothing to do with being black.
But you just asked me if black women.
Yeah, I know, but that's the demographic. But it's not because they're black. It's just that, you know, like you were saying, you know, Latino women can be like this too. White women are like that.
So
you should meet English women. Like they are just like the stereotype that black men have in their head. I swear. You don't feel like they're sometimes. But do you think there are black women like that as well?
Compared to themselves or to
I've answered that question. I said yes, but there is all races.
Of course, yeah, but it's not a comparative question, because the question is why aren't black men marrying black women? And if the answer is yes, then the black women, it's the way they're acting that the black men assume, and that's putting them off.
No, it's definitely stereotypes, and it's also it's racism because at the end of the day, light-skinned people and this fetishization of mixed children and being not
I'm mixed
black.
race myself. My grandfather, and my father had a hell of a time in the 70s in Britain. With racism, you know,
okay,
so
well,
you know, I totally get it.
Well, being the farthest away from blackness is looked at as the epitome of what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
So of course,
my father had a hell of a time as a young man. But what I'm saying is, like, we are what we do. Right? This is like Aristotle. So, like, if we are repeatedly doing a thing, then people perceive us to be that thing. And so, if there are also other women who are like this, but there are also black women like this, and if that's what young men have the stereotype in their head, stereotypes exist because of things people do, then maybe there's truth to it.
Which you
okay.
historically.
I mean, there's a little. Okay, go ahead.
And we're in an experience right now that's never.
I don't think you guys are like that. I don't think you guys.
I'm not saying that either, but like to even like why even have the conversation if literally any woman can have an attitude.
Sure. Okay. Anyway, and any man can have an attitude.
And they do.
Yeah, of course.
And there's a stereotype on black women specifically about how they have attitudes. Why would we say that us having attitude, or because some of us have attitudes, there's truth to that, so that's the stereotype? Like, what is that?
Well, because the problem is that the black men have got the perception that black women are, there's a large number of black women like that.
Okay.
And if you agree that there are black women like that, maybe the numbers are kind of high. And if that's you know, I mean, if it's people who've got kind of a chip on their shoulder and
why
you
do
know,
you have a chip on your shoulder?
oh, probably historical oppression. I'm going, you know, and like I said, I'm not unsympathetic to the
stereotypes.
Right.
Probably.
I'm trying to understand where you're going. So then it's okay.
No, I don't think it's okay. But I'm just trying to be real about what really is happening.
I guess
I really am trying.
There's a little truth there.
There's a kind of truth.
But then
somewhere.
Okay.
Well, then it's down to the individual. Like, you guys are clearly not one, right? But they well, okay. I mean, I don't know you well enough. Maybe you.
I mean, anyone can be.
Oh, sure, right? Yeah.
Spaces. That's
Of course,
the thing.
yeah, sure.
We're all multi-dimensional human beings. So, like, even these people that are.
But there are some people who are
even
more
these people
like
that
that more
these
often.
women in the hood that might have attitudes. They are also intelligent, beautiful women that have all these other things.
Yeah, I know. But like, I'm thinking like now I'm thinking like as a man. You know, I mean, I'm married, and my wife's is very strong. She gives me hell all the time. But I like that. But I think there are probably a lot of men who don't like that. I think there are probably a lot of men who are thinking it's a bit much hassle. I'll just not bother. And so maybe they're just like, it looks like more work to me, and so maybe that's the reason that this is happening. You don't think it's down to attitude?
No, that's not the one.
As a man,
black women have attitude. That's the only thing. That's the only
Your
reason black men are
hypothesis that thinking about like the problem of black crime and the cause of that you have identified being breakup of family. And the cause of that is because black men don't want to get married to black women because they have this idea of black women in their head, and that as a result of that, if you want to solve the problem of breaking up black families, black women,
you've skipped a step, right? They have this idea in their head of, listen, right? They have this impression of black women in their head.
I think that's where you're trying to go.
No, listen, you've skipped a step. They have this impression of black women in their head, and what you're saying is there are definitely black women like that, and is that why they're seeing that stereotype in their head?
I think there's a lot of factors that go into how people get stereotypes in their heads, including their individual lived experience, anecdotal experiences, media representations, history.
That doesn't mean the stereotype isn't true. You said those
no, stereotypes aren't true or not true. It's not a matter of true or false. It's just an idea that you have in your head that you project onto the world that comes from somewhere. So, but individuals, you can't have an individual responsibility for a structural problem.
Now, I'm not talking about a structural problem. I'm talking about an individual.
But yeah, I guess that's the problem.
No. I'm talking about an individual the problem. I like the smug face. It's a nice try at defense, but this is not anything.
You're not really as bright as you think you are.
No. This is nothing that a white man can solve. So
I didn't say that.
Well, you are stepping in trying to be a white savior. Okay? So yeah, I know.
This guy, he knows the lingo. He knows the lingo. He's been on the internet.
So maybe we should talk of it as an individual situation, right? So it's about two people and how they interact with each other.
But
and
it's
if one person's saying, I don't like the way that person's interacting with me, then the person who is being not nice in their opinion can't really expect that person to go, well, you know, I'll just deal with them being not nice to me.
What is not nice in their opinion?
Yeah, what is
well, the stereotype that young black men hold in their head. If that's
talking
caused by their lived experience, then what are they
But
supposed
it's
to
not
do?
just caused by their lived experience, it's also structural racism. It's a structure. So it's not, even in your individual interactions, those structural issues affect those individual
when two
actions.
people are talking and one person doesn't like the behavior of the other person, what structure is involved?
But that's not what this is.
Sure. But they're responsible for their own actions. If I sit there and start, bitching you out and saying you've got stupid hair and a silly beard, then that's not because of I've got a lot of lived experiences and structures that focus me to this point right now, but I can still choose not to be nasty.
That's different.
So
we're not talking about racism right now. We're not talking about choices.
It's not choices.
But
So when
do
you've
you
got two-
understand that the ways that you make choices are affected by everything else that you have lived? So you literally cannot divide them. I mean, yeah, but if people aren't even brought to these conversations to even be thinking about themselves and self-reflect on why they even think things, then you're not gonna be able to just make a rational decision about, well, this person is just being mean to this person. Because you bring
I think they
in.
can be rational. I think they can.
We think you're rational.
Yeah, you guys seem really rational.
I mean, okay.
You think we can have a good conversation?
You seem clever as hell, so I'm not.
Okay, but that's not the point. It's bigger than that.
Sure, but
it's not an individual problem. Is the point?
It is every
And
time.
you can't make it an
there's a
individual
guy
problem.
who doesn't choose to marry a black woman, that is an individual problem.
No, it's not. It's based on structural racism.
I think that's kind of.
The point is,
What about the fact that now that
all those structures that you come into the conversation with and you leave the conversation with affect you, regardless of the fact that it was two individuals. And it's not a perfect. You're not in space having this conversation. You're here,
You
and
still make a choice. You're not determined.
you don't make a choice. You make a choice every single time you have an interaction. You think about that interaction super hard, and you're like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have thought that specific thing. Like literally every single thing that you do. Are you really?
Well, if it's important. I mean, if I'm dealing with a person, like I don't want to be rude to you guys, so I'm deliberately not being rude. I'm being nice as far as I can.
This idea of like a person
Well, it's subjective depending on the people, but I'm trying to be polite. I hope you perceive me as polite. And
He's not intending to offend you.
Okay.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
But I guess I just feel that maybe people should read more stoicism.
Okay, good luck. Learn lots.
I'm going to go rather than if you start externalizing things, saying, well, this is something out of my control, this is something out of my control, then you kind of alleviate responsibility for your own actions that are within your control. You just have to think about it.
Okay.
And then if there is no reason to have a stereotype of someone as being loud and obnoxious or something like that, then I mean people stereotypes are very easily broken. I mean, well, I'm not drinking tea right now, am I? I'm not a stereotypical Englishman, am I?
Okay, but you keep talking about stuff on a very individual level.
Yeah, because people are individuals.
But it's not just.
Yeah, but no, but this is what I mean.
We also live within.
Yeah, but this is an excuse.
Change
This is
begins
saying,
with a
well, it's
person,
someone
one
else's
person.
fault.
Each person
It's-
individually can make a change.
Psychological. A black man's probably. I mean, not everyone, of course, but they're not. I mean, he might be like not want to approach me. He might not want to approach me because what he's seen on the media, he's seen that dark-skinned women have attitudes or like they just don't want to deal with them. So that's psychological. I mean, you said it starts with like one person, but
yes, that's with every person as an individual.
Right.
It's for them to make the decision. I mean, there's a reason that the stereotype exists for young black women, because I mean I've seen the media, I've seen the viral videos of young black women yelling and screaming. I'm sat there thinking I'd never marry her. I'm looking at that woman going, no thanks. I would rather choose someone who's not like her. Like I would choose someone who's polite. Not that's not enough.
Why is the first thought when you're seeing a video of a young black woman if you're going to marry her or not?
Maybe I want to get married.
But you already established that you're married.
Yeah, I'm not looking for
So what is the
I'm confused.
What is the lesson that you're trying to get to?
I'm confused, yeah.
Like, what is the
point?
prescription?
What I'm saying is when you sit there and you say, right, it's someone else's fault, it's structural repression, and you're not taking responsibility for your own actions. And I think that it gives cover to people who say, you know what, I actually don't have to take responsibility for my own attitude. And I think that
then we go back to the problem.
Fosters a bad
the problem of black families not being together is not the fact that black women may or may not have attitudes, and in our individual action. No, it's not.
No, is it not? No, honestly,
it's
I'm
not.
asking. This
It's
is what I'm
not
trying to
just
get
that.
to. I didn't say it was just that, but
It's not even. It's not even like a 50%. Like it's just. I don't know.
I guess it's just something to think about. But yeah, thank you for indulging my questions. I really appreciate it.
Oh, but I cannot believe
I'm gonna take a picture. An intense discussion.
Yeah, and get to see the discussion. Right. Do you know a man named Jacob?
Alrighty then. I believe I will be signing off. Hope you enjoyed. Alrighty then. I believe I will be signing off. Hope you enjoyed Berkeley Debates Part 5.